Yeah?
Hey, Jad, I'm starting to notice something about our
What's
show.
that?
We review a lot of things that have some weird sexual
Oh,
undertones.
God.
I know guys, I know we didn't do our introduction,
I
but like,
completely forgot about those
we did
parts, to
Paprika.
be honest.
Like, we just watched Paprika, and that, has some,
The,
okay, that had a lot of like weird
the
sexual
bare
stuff.
tits.
Yeah, and then we watched Felidae, and
Oh, my God.
I guess we should just get
Yeah.
into it. I'm not really sure how to describe this film, to be completely
Maybe we can
honest,
start with the basic info.
which we don't have a lot on.
Yeah. You want to start or should I?
Because I'll start. So, this is based on a murder mystery novel of the same name by a German-Turkish writer named,
Good
I'm
luck
trying to
with
say his
that.
name, Afik, Afik Princi. He also co-wrote the screenplay. And people's like, well, that's not a lot of info. We can't really find anything on
And,
this dude. Because I think this was is this the only book he ever
I'm
wrote?
not sure. I didn't look too much in his bibliography. But this is his most popular work from what I've seen. And
He actually published sequels to this
wait,
book. The
what? Oh,
heck?
I guess he was a one-trick pony then.
Yes! Yeah, there was Fidelity 2 and Fidelity South Roma. Oh my gosh.
Felipalis.
He also he published some other novels, but like it seems like mostly what he's known for is the
And
Felidae series.
and quite some, and also something else cause Parasini would later cause controversy for associating with anti-Islamic and far-right groups in Germany, who booked him on essay reading tours. When confronted about this, his reaction was, and I quote, I don't give a flying fuck if people call me a Nazi. When Prasini was
Jesus
invited to a
Christ.
nationalist Islamophobic march as a key speaker, many publishing companies canceled their contracts with him. And at the same time, numerous German bookstores and Amazon Germany even delisted his books.
Yeah, there's no copies of this book either. Like, you can get it on. Oh, actually, yeah, there's one, but it's a Turkish edition. Um, yeah, but I don't think like the rest of this
Yeah.
stuff is out of print. And to be honest, I'm not kind of surprised. And also, this film, it did not do
No.
well at the German box office. It was a flop, and the English dub didn't get a wide release. But to be completely honest, I'm kind of not surprised because like, oh, this is a movie about cats. It's a very, very violent movie, like extremely violent.
See, it's probably a
Um,
trigger warning. Um, the following movie
oh yeah.
contains instances of animal abuse, animal mutilation, animal gore, animal deaths, and sexual suggestive references involving cats. So, if you're
Yep.
squeamish, you might want to skip this one.
Oh yeah, because this film does not like it doesn't hold any punches. Um, so okay, so it starts off with our main character, a cat named Francis, and his owner, who is a writer,
Yeah,
I
he's a
think.
writer with who also has an interest in archaeology, and whenever it gets writer's block, they move into a new house.
So this writer must be rich, because it's like, who the hell has money to just up and move
Well,
that
did you see
often?
the place? It was
Um,
dilapidated.
that is true. The place they move in is crap. Like, oh my god, it is disgusting. And the thing is okay, so one of the things I kind of noticed about this, the movie, the
Mm-hmm.
pacing's really off because as soon as Francis gets into the house, he discovers there's a dead cat in
Yeah,
the
and that's where
backyard.
he meets Bluebeard, who's a foul-mouthed cat with only one eye, and he's missing his tail. And
Honestly, I think he was probably my
Yeah.
favorite character. Bluebeard doesn't give a crap.
No. He's like a bootleg Ed Asner.
Yes. And see, the thing is so again, he's telling Francis, "Hey, so here's what happened. There's been a bunch of murders going on in the neighborhood, and he thinks it's the can openers who are the humans. That's what they call them." And I'm like, okay, that actually kind of makes sense since they open cans of cat food and stuff. Um, but apparently Francis is the smartest cat to
Yeah.
ever live. He's like, no, this wasn't a human. I know that sounds like such an odd thing to say,
Yeah,
but
this guy's fucking
Francis
Sherlock
is as
Holmes.
smart. He's Sherlock Holmes in cat form because he tells Bluebeard, "No way. This was by like another cat. Look at how it feels like we're in an episode of Law and Order because he's talking about like how the cat was killed, and it feels a little weird because
Yeah.
well, I mean, okay, another thing. He also was like, the cat was sexually
But
aroused. How the heck can you tell that,
he died
Francis?
with a boner, I guess?
How?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, like we said, there's going to be a lot of sexual talk in this, and it is not our fault. That's just the way the movie is.
Yeah, and later that night, Francis has a nightmare where he meets this faceless man in like a white robe who puts a cat collar on him, but it turns into a chain and shackle, and he's just whipping him around against the ceiling and the wall. And
It's really well animated, but also really disturbing.
And speaking of disturbing, that night he hears cats out growling and screaming, and turns out the house used to belong to a scientist who had a research laboratory and set it up in a basement. And he sees, which is a really incredibly dark scene of this, it's a cult of cats who are just electrocuting themselves in a ritualistic sacrifice for this prophet named Claudandus, which is fucked up.
And it's messed up because like they have some sort of electric thing. I don't know what it is exactly. All the cats are like jumping into it.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's really messed up. Yeah. Again, so I guess they hear Francis. Francis runs and he meets a cat named Felicity, a blind cat. Now, see, like we said, how Francis is like cat Sherlock Holmes. It's true because he's like trying to legitimately solve these murders. Because I think there's been like what 6 cats that have been murdered up to this
Yeah,
point.
I believe so. 5 or 6.
Yeah, and
Felicity talks about how she heard a cat's voice, and at first she didn't believe they were murders, because with the tone this cat talked, it made it sound like it wasn't graphic or violent at all, which is weird.
yeah. And once again, she also mentions that it seems like they were, getting it on. And again, like I said, the pacing is off is because the next day they go to visit a cat named Pascal who is like living in this really nice house. It's like
and
really big,
has
very
some
pretty.
oh my god, some
Oh god, the art.
Yeah, the art of I think 2 Aboriginals getting it on.
Yeah, it's really really weird. And it's like so this is something that we talked about when we were like watching Rock and Roll. This film doesn't feel sensual. It just feels
the
horny.
thing about a lot of... Oh, sorry. You were going to say?
Go ahead.
Just,
no, you go
a
ahead.
lot of European animation and Asian animation, and as well, the way it differs from a lot of American animation is it doesn't shy away from violence or sexual tones and nudity. Like, they don't see it as a big deal in their animated work.
Which, like, I can appreciate that, but it's just, it sometimes feels like they're doing it for the sake of doing it instead of having it mean anything in the story. Because also, I mean, we're going to get to it later, but, again, like, they're constantly bringing up sex and mating and all this stuff, and it is a little uncomfortable because it is cats and not people. Um, but see, they go to meet
Pascal.
what's his face? Yeah, Pascal. And okay, this is another
He learned
thing.
how to use a computer.
Pas Yeah, they know how to type. They can read. What
Yeah.
is happening? Oh my god. Um, and then somehow he found out that Felicity was
Uh,
murdered, even though she was just alive. Like what? He even Francis says she was alive an hour ago, and I'm like, then how the hell did she die
yeah,
that
and
fast?
when he rushes to the apartment she was in, it's a pretty disturbing scene of her decapitated head just looking straight up
Yeah.
at the ceiling.
Oh yeah. I feel really bad for her just because her death felt a little gratuitous. Like this is something about me. It's like again, I'm not saying that I dislike, um violence. I'm not like ew, icky. It just her death felt really gratuitous and over the top to me.
Yeah, definitely. Like I get, and Francis said she was killed because she knew too much, but it was pretty sudden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's decapitated, and I don't think any of the other cats were
No,
decapitated, were they?
their throats were just clawed out and shredded.
Yeah, so again, just felt really kind of over the top. And then I think he has another dream.
Oh yeah, this is the part that when my friend John of Super Bonus Round, by the way, nice little plug, and
Hi,
he
John.
tried to watch this movie a few years ago, and this was the scene he had to tap out at, where it's this
I kind of don't
scientist
blame him.
slash Christian guy, and he's surrounded by a sea of decomposing cat corpses, and he holds up these two crosses that soon turn into those little puppet things you use to control them, and marionettes, and he uses them
Marionettes.
to
Yeah.
just pull up all the dead cat bodies, and they start hitting each other, and the cat and breaking the limbs, decomposing. It was very, very graphic, and
It is beautifully animated, but holy crap. This is also it's a Gregor Mendel who was kind of he's infamous because he did a lot of like really bizarre and like unethical experiments. I think he went to jail for like the rest of his life after that. I'm not
considering this scene, I'm
100%
not
sure, but
surprised.
like yeah, so after that he just happened like once again Francis is so smart and everything happens so well for him because he wakes up and decides to hunt some rats and he discovers a video recording that tells him everything about the previous occupant of this house.
And
So
yeah, this
this
is darkest
doctor,
part.
what's the
Let's
doctor's
see,
name? P-
fuck,
P-
I got the
Petrius?
Dr. Patria. Let's see. Shit, it doesn't list a name here in the wiki. So this doctor, and this is the darkest scene in the movie, in my opinion. Like, thank God John tapped out at the puppet cat corpse segment, because he would not be able to stomach what
Oh
happens
yeah.
next. Because this doctor is trying to develop a new tissue bonding glue, and he uses stray cats as his test subjects. And what happens
Oh
is
yeah.
he has the cat strapped to the table, makes a little cut with the scalpel on the back of the head, and try to use a glue to test it. Instead, it has like a corrosive effect that just chews through the skull and liquidates the brain. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a very upsetting scene, but somehow one of the
A
cats
stray named
manages to survive this thing.
Claudanus.
Yeah, they call him Claudantus, which is Latin for he who should or must be sealed. So I don't know if it is because of this glue or what, but Claudantus becomes really smart, it seems, because he manages to kill
Yeah,
the
and you
doctor. Granted, the
yeah,
doctor
he
was like
was
losing his mind.
heavily drinking, performed a living dissection on him, and that was the part that almost made me tap out the first time I saw it. Was he was just shooting a skull into that cat's head and had his entire stomach open, like Jesus.
Yeah, that would be hard to watch because you also, I mean, you will have
Oh,
Buddy.
oh, I would never let Buddy watch a film like this. It's hate and it's inappropriate for his age.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, I would cover his eyes like, nope, nope, nope. And people are like, he's a cat. I don't care. He's a cat. Buddy would be so disturbed by this entire thing. So Claudantis murders the doctor, and he kind of okay. This is when it gets even weirder because we talked about those cats beforehand. The reason they have this religion is because of Claudantis. He's like a martyr to them, and he's considered it's kind of like I guess a Jesus figure in a way. Okay, so then there are more murders. There's this really, really massive cat named
Yeah,
Kong, I
Kong,
think is the
and
name of the cat.
he keeps hitting on Francis, apparently.
Okay, this is another thing. There's this really weird. Okay, so Kong is again this really massive cat, and he's kind of a dick. For some reason, he keeps calling like Francis pretty boy and like all these nicknames, and I'm like, is he flirting with him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he being homophobic?
Like,
I don't know.
which way does his
It's so
dick
bizarre,
swing?
and because see, the thing is later Kong and two other cats try to attack Francis, and Francis runs. They find another dead cat, and it turns out to be Kong's like main squeeze, I guess. Because he starts going off about, oh no, my sweet, sweet baby. Like, okay. So, like, again, very confusing. Do not know why it is in this movie. And it seems like, we're kind of going really quickly, but see, it's really just Francis figuring everything out. And again, he's a fucking cat.
I know. And,
it just doesn't make
yeah,
any
and
sense.
that's where we meet another new character who calls himself the Guardian of the Dead, and
Oh, God.
and they found him down, or rather Francis and Bluebill found him down to see a bunch of cat skeletons. Like, apparently these murders have been going on for years from the sounds of it. Like, it wasn't just those 6 murders. It's been going on for a long time in the neighborhood with the cats. But recently, he hasn't received any of the murdered bodies for whatever reason.
Yeah, because now they're out in the open. Again, the whole thing is really weird because it has to do with the weird cat religion again. And then, okay, so I think this is kind of the scene this movie is known for. Francis has another night, a weird dream, and then he wakes up, and there's this random cat who he's never met before, and the cat is calling his name.
No.
And, Francis and the cat get it on.
Oh, okay. Step down from the usual R-rated animated sex scenes, but okay. And yeah, it was really cringy because they're fucking cats. And it just...
Yeah, like, these are not anthropomorphic cats. It's not like I'm trying to think of, like, a good example of an anthropomorphic cat. I mean, it's not kind of like, how people, like, have a crush on Rouge the Bat. She's anthropomorphic, and she's, has, like, she's functioning. She's like,
humanoid. She has tits.
These are... Yes. Yeah, she has... And she understands the world around her. These are cats. And it also... She also... Because the thing is, it also does... It seems like the people who did this, I guess, they had to do the research, but it's like how the cats actually do it. So I feel like that makes it a little more uncomfortable.
And what was the point of this whole scene? Just for her to tell Francis that her breed isn't new, it's old?
She also doesn't have a name. I don't think they give this character a name.
No, I don't. She's supposed to be an Egyptian Ma, one looks of it.
Yeah, but they don't give her a name in the movie, I think. Maybe in the book. Again, neither of us read the book, and it is because this book is, like, really hard to find. I don't even think we could have gotten this book on, like, as an ebook, so we haven't read it. So I know there's probably a lot of stuff that is in the book and not in the movie. Um, but even still, it's still. See, I think the thing is part of this movie feels like it needed a little bit more of something
Pacing.
because it feels like
Yeah.
there's a lot missing. Yeah, and then like we said, the pacing is really, really off because we go so fast. Like, you guys think we're just like hopping around, but the movie goes really, really fast. It's like an hour and like 18 minutes long, but even still, it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like they didn't know how to pace this or something. Because then I think they're trying to find Joker, who is
Priest
the
of the cult, yeah.
like the priest. Yeah, I use priest in quotes because again, they're cats. Like, okay, so then, see, they have this big meeting with all the cats, and there's this tiny little itty bitty cat, and Frances mentions Claudantis, and she goes, "Claudantis is still alive," and I'm like, "How the hell do you know that?
Oh my,
You're a kitten."
Yeah, and it's just pushed aside as Pascal insists Joker's alive, Ivan took the name Claudantis, so he can carry on the call or whatever. But Francis isn't convinced, and when they go into the house Joker was in, they found him dead. Like, according to Francis, there wasn't a struggle or anything. He was executed, and he accepted his fate.
Yeah, and this is another example of it's just very, very grotesque and over the top. And so, if you've been following this, it turns out that Pascal is actually Claudantis, and he also has stomach cancer. He's not going to survive, but his plan was to, I guess, make a new breed of cat.
Like have that go back to the breed a whole master race of cats to go back to their primitive feral state, so they can wipe out humanity. And the reason all of those male cats were sexually aroused was because they tried to mate with that one cat that Francis mated with early in the film. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
She really gets around.
And the thing is, this doesn't. Yeah, it also just doesn't make sense because it's like you don't know if these cats are gonna follow what you want them to do, because they're not obligated to. They might get bored of what you want them to do and they might move on to something else.
Yeah, so Claudantis, the reason he left all those bodies out instead of putting them in that catacombs was he was hoping Francis would take his place as he's dying of stomach cancer. But Francis, of course, rejects it and tries to delete all his research on the computer, which ensures in a fight and did not over the computer, which breaks open and starts a house fire. And yeah, this is where things get graphic once more, because during the fight, both of them have bite marks and they're bleeding, and as Claudantis is about to pounce on Francis just runs under and just disembowels him with his claws, like Jesus. He just falls down with his intestines and guts out. Like.
So yeah, this ends with cat murder. And that's kind of
there's some kind of monologue, epilogue, voiceover by Francis, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was.
Also, Bluebeard got injured, but Francis saved him. Again, I honestly, the only characters I liked in this were Bluebeard and Felicity. Francis was too smart. Sue. Like, yeah, and it's like, guys, it's a cat. I know. And here's the thing: in like a lot of writing where the characters are animals, it's fine to have like one of the characters be smart. But the thing is that this is involving murder and a lot of really complex themes and ideas. There's no way a cat would be this smart, and they don't even explain how he's so smart.
His owner was like a murder mystery novelist, but no, he writes romance fluff pieces. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. like he's an archaeologist, but to make money he writes romance, and it's like so it's not even a thing where it's like the owner is the guy who knows all the mysteries. It just doesn't make any sense. And again, this is something I feel it's like, hey, let's make something adult and let's add sex because that's like it automatically makes it adult. No, if you're gonna have sex in something, you have to treat it seriously. They're not treating this
No.
seriously. It feels very juvenile.
Well, I guess that explains a lot of things
And see,
about the author, because it's very juvenile.
yeah. See, a lot of people make fun of the musical Cats, but the thing about Cats is, see, it's based off poems. And so when Andrew Lloyd Webber was doing this, he's like, okay, so we're going to do this more like as a sort of concept musical. And it's like they're having this big celebration. Their leader is coming, so he can choose someone to go up to the Heaviside layer, which is like Jellicle Heaven or something. And, it's like it's a big celebration. It makes sense. Like, yeah, some people don't get it, but it's like we're just going to have a simple concept and we're going to run with it. And it just, that works. I feel like this doesn't. It just feels, again, like it is trying way too hard.
Yeah.
So what would you give this out of 5, Jad?
2. They have some impressive animation, and I kind of admire how they try to take risks, but those risks don't exactly pay off if the story don't mean shit.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 2 as well. The animation is really great. However, I can't really recommend this just because there's nothing else. It's not very satisfying.
There's only like 1 or 2 characters that are likable and pretty bland lead. And like you said, the pacing is just breakneck speed.
Yeah. And honestly, we have so much news we gotta get into, so let's just move on.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to start with this? With this one, it's a bit sad.
It's sad. Oh, and this happened during Pride Month too. Treat Williams, a LGBTQ plus ally in gay in films, dead at 71. He now I didn't know this, but Treat Williams had a gay father, so he had no like issues starring in like gay films where he was either playing a gay character or something like that. His career spanned nearly 50 years. He starred in Prince of City, Once Upon a Time in America. He was on the show Everwood. And I think he also did some voice roles, right? Because I think that's how we know him.
Look it up. Google. Oh, shit. Now, Treat Williams.
I'm trying to see if it says how he passed, but I'm not sure if they've released that yet.
Let's see. Yeah.
I was in Miss Congeniality. I love that movie.
Oh, okay. He didn't have that many voiceover roles from the looks of it. He was only in an episode of Batman the Animated Series and the Simpsons movie.
That's what it was. Who was he in
Some
Batman the
guy named
Animated Series?
Dr. Achilles Milo.
Oh, okay. So Achilles Milo was this like doctor who worked for bad guys. There was this one episode where Catwoman got out of jail and she was looking for her cat because her cat went missing. And Achilles Milo and a bunch of other people were hired by Daggett Cromwell, who's this business owner, to infect all these animals with some sort of sickness. So then it would spread throughout Gotham and Daggett would have the only cure. So he would make money. Yeah, they're really good episodes, and Achilles Milo is a fantastic character / villain. So, yeah, rest in peace, Treat. We will miss you. Oh yeah, it was a motorcycle crash. Oh, that sucks.
And I got this next part.
All right.
This is a hell of a story.
Oh boy.
Jay Johnson, the voice of Jimmy Pesto Sr. Bob's Burgers, was arrested for being part of the January 6th insurrection. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And
wow.
Apparently he's also an asshole in real life, just like his character.
Yeah, so he's fired.
Can you imagine if in the show they, right, his character off the same way he went to jail for.
That would be hilarious. Oh my goodness. And also, I mean, a lot of people don't like Jimmy Petso. He is an antagonist, but like, damn.
Yeah.
I kind of do agree with you. He probably was an asshole, kind of like how Justin Roiland was. So, I mean, it's probably no big loss. But yeah, the fact that he got arrested, I wonder if it's because people saw him and knew who he was.
Possibly.
Because there's a picture of him, and it's really far away. But it's like, I bet you somebody saw that and was like, I think I know who that is.
Yeah, God.
Okay, so this is one we're probably going to talk about a lot just because I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. Okay.
I added this.
Winnie the Pooh is now the subject of a bizarre indie horror game. It is called Winnie's Hole. I fucking hate this. Oh my god. No. So, from what I'm understanding, Pooh gets a virus.
Yeah, it's you play as a virus and you have to spread throughout Pooh's system in this like puzzle / dungeon crawler / RPG to make Pooh mutate, grow more limbs, and infect other residents of the 100 Acre Woods. And
I'm not the only person who's tired of this.
No, this is like the same year that Blood and Honey came out.
Exactly.
Like, it's just shock value.
And that movie did not do well.
Yeah. I think it, Blood and the Honey. I remember it had like a micro budget of a little under $100,000 and it grossed $5.2 million. Holy shit. Damn it, Internet.
The thing is though, oh god, a sequel and a shared universe are being developed. Fuck me. Alright, but here's the thing. I don't think this is going to last just because I've said this before. People are always going to try to rip off stuff or use something to try to make their own stories. But after a while, it gets really boring and obvious. And we've been having a lot of things that are taking like famous storybook characters and making it really dark. Like there was the Mean One film that's coming out, I think,
last
this
year.
year.
We never heard anything of it ever since.
Oh, you're right. You're right. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like, and also here's my thing. I am fine with people taking established characters and doing something interesting with their story, but taking characters that are meant for kids and just making them bloody and dark is
I don't think that Mean One ever got a home release.
This has been done too many times. I think you might be right, because again, like, it came out last year. We didn't hear anything about it.
Hoping that batshit crazy shock value would carry it, but obviously it didn't.
Nope. Again, this is just getting really lazy, and I don't think I think people are, tired of it, so they're going to start focusing on other stuff. Because, I mean, other better stuff is coming out. It just, again, I kind of wish people would be doing something
definitely
more creative and interesting with their time. Now, I think you added this too, right?
This. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is getting DLC later this year. Yeah, it's getting some new levels, new music, and let's see, 4, 5, 6, 8th playable character, Yosaki Yojimbo.
Ooh. Oh, dude, that is awesome, because that's by I think this wasn't, is this by the same people who did, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or it's like, is it the same company? No, it's
by Tribute Games. They're a French and independent studio that specializes in beat-em-ups, and they were made up of former Ubisoft employees who worked on the Game Boy Advance TMNT game and the Scott Pilgrim game.
Oh. I think Usagi Yojimbo has also done crossovers with
he was
the
in
Teenage
a lot
Mutant
of
Ninja Turtles
different
before.
Incarnations of the Turtles and several crossovers.
So this makes sense. And a lot of people's like, who the heck is this guy? It is a rabbit samurai? And it's like, that sounds dumb. No. It's actually really cool. This is a comic that's been going on since 1984. It's got a very loyal fan base. You can probably find the books like on Amazon. So yeah, this is really, really cool and exciting, especially for people like Jad and me who both love like the Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles.
I'm looking forward to this DLC, and of course, me and John are gonna play this for the channel.
Yay!
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay. Oh, this. All right. CNN CEO Chris Lish ousted after tumultuous tenure. Oh boy. We have another person who got fired because they were being inappropriate yet
Yeah, he
again.
insists he's been at CNN shortly after the Zaslav takeover, and he insisted how he had to turn CNN into an apolitical network with both sides of the aisles, and yeah, and
Yeah, right.
it led to a lot of longtime personalities being fired from CNN and the infamous Trump town hall the network hosted. And even after doubling
Oh
down
gosh,
on
I forgot
it,
about that.
he's fired. He's let go.
It seems like he also hasn't always had a lot of success because he tried to I think revamp like the morning show they had and it didn't work. So I mean, I don't, maybe this was like right now on the wall, but even still, I feel like this is just also more indicative of what's going on right now in the
Well,
entertainment
I'm that in
industry
a
and
minute, by
stuff.
the way. Well, I'm that in a minute,
Hmm?
by the way, since it's also Warner Brothers.
Oh,
But
yeah.
on to something a bit more positive. My friend John told me about this.
I saw a
By,
trailer for this. Yeah,
by
and I've seen a
Sweet
trailer for
Carol, a
this.
dark fantasy adventure game with Disney-esque animation, is unveiled. Now, we haven't seen any we haven't seen any real gameplay yet, but it seems like this is gonna be a beautiful looking game at least. And
Oh yeah. There's been a teaser trailer and it looks really pretty. It's about a girl named Carol Simmons who escaped from an orphanage. Um, that's really all we know. It kind of gives me like Mad Father vibes
Mad
a
Father.
little, but it also like I think what yeah, it's a
Okay.
RPG maker game. It's really good. This is from Chris Darrow, creator and director of the Remothered series, which I haven't heard of. But like this is a unique and new horror game, so
Yeah, a
I'm
horror game with Disney
always down for
animated style
that.
visuals.
Yeah. Like I think one of the things is like I really like love horror and there's so much stuff you can do with horror, but I think what's sometimes frustrating is like we were talking about the whole thing with the Winnie the Pooh game, a lot of horror is
Mm-hmm.
very uninspired. And I know a lot of people's like, well, all genres are like that, but I feel like with horror, it's a little worse
Yeah, like
sometimes.
they're just throwing whatever at the wall and seeing what would stick.
Oh yeah, because like you guys know
Mm-hmm.
the movie Gremlins. There are so many Gremlins
Oh
ripoffs.
yeah,
Like, oh my god,
Tremors, Critters.
like Chuds. Oh yeah, Munchies I think was another one. So it's like, and there's also like countless slasher ripoffs
Mm-hmm.
too and stuff. So it's just always really nice to see a horror that is original. And it's like they can pay homage to other horror stuff, but I like it when they at least try to have an original idea. So I'm really
Oh yeah,
excited
I'll
for this. This
definitely be
looks
keeping an eye out for
gorgeous.
this. And
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for this.
is this yours or
Oh,
mine?
yay, good news!
Oh yeah.
This one's mine. Pat Robertson, who gave Christian conservatives clout, is dead at 93. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Pat.
Oh god. Yeah, this.
I don't care if we lose
Yeah, he's the
followers.
guy
Screw
who
this guy.
claims that people that cities and states get hit by hurricanes and natural disasters because they support homosexuality. He basically responsible for those for basically shaping the Republican Party into what it is today. Hey, and
Ugh, hate this guy.
he also had a stake in Fox Family, later renamed into Freeform, which he absolutely refused to sell no matter how much Disney asked, and it led to a disclaimer before his program came on, saying that whatever you're about to see, it's being aired because of contractual obligations. It does not represent the Disney company or who we are, and we are so sorry you have to see this.
And like for Disney to do that, you know it's bad. Like you know it's really bad because he also is the guy who created the 700 Club too. Yeah, so this guy was just like a lot of people's like you shouldn't celebrate someone's death, but this guy was not a good person. He made life harder for so many people.
Yeah, he called feminism the spirit of the Antichrist, and oh god, he said that at 9/11 happened because of America's sinfulness. Jesus.
Oh my god, fuck you. Oh, I hate this guy. Like, this is just a person who didn't do anything positive when he's alive, so you know what? Glad he's dead. I don't feel any remorse. Goodbye, Pat. Have fun rotting in hell. Yep.
And
ooh, now this I think you added.
Excited about this one. Marvel reveals a new comic crossover, Predator vs. Wolverine. Now, for those who don't know what the Predator is, it's this action horror film back in the day starring Arnold Schwarzenegger that has been milking with a lot of sequels, but most recently it took a turn for the better thanks to the amazing prequel Prey.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's
I still
amazing.
Need to see that. I heard it's really, really good.
And he also did they had that film in two different languages. One where it's in the tribe's native language, and the other one was in English. And yeah, it was amazing. Cool. And because of the success, Disney considers Predator to be a key IP for them. So it's no surprise that they're doing a crossover with another bloody hunter, Wolverine.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they're like both. The thing is the Predator is a hunter. That's why he's called that. So this makes a lot of sense narratively. But also, like, I feel like when it comes to comics, like, doing these crossovers can be so much fun. This just also kind of... This, I feel like, makes more sense than, like, making another Predator movie. Because besides having, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... There's also 2 other movies, which is Alien versus Predator. And honestly, I think those would have probably been better as comics too. So it's like, this just seems like a much better idea. Yeah, people
enjoy them a lot more better as the comics, I think, because I think Alien versus Predator was a comic.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I just feel like this idea makes better sense as a comic. So just keep doing that. Alrighty. Mm-hmm. So now I'm next. Okay, we got it kind of, I guess this is kind of bittersweet news. Bryan Cranston announces his retirement from acting. And if you guys don't know that name, you do know who this is. This is Walter White we're talking about. He is going, I think his latest role is in, the new Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City. And he's also been starring in a recent series called Your Honor, but it seems like after that he's going to just be, retiring just because he wants to spend more time with his family, which makes sense. Definitely. And he kind of already, like, had his impactful role as Walter White, the teacher who turns to dealing drugs.
Yeah, and
I still... See, now, I originally knew him as the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh my god, seriously?
That's how I knew him originally. So when I saw him in this, I'm like, wait, is that... I had to do a double take because I'm like, is that who I think it is?
Doing a comedic voiceover about life in his family and how he just casually talks about how his dad is a drug dealer.
You like, wait, what? He's like, oh yeah, my dad dealt drugs. Like, are you... That's something you seem very just glib about.
God. And, okay, let's see. I got this part. You added this, actually. And if it'll just load... Ellie...
This I'm actually really excited about.
Animated series is coming from DreamWorks Animation.
Called Fright Crew.
And one. Fuck it. I'm Googling this shit.
Okay. This is coming from Eli Roth, who did Cabin Fever and Hostel. So this is a guy who knows, like, horror stuff. So yeah, like, I'm excited about this just because, like, both me and Jad are big on animation, and we're always looking for new animation that's coming out.
I'm wondering if this is going to be aimed at an older audience or kids.
Kind of looks like it is. I think it might be aimed at, like, maybe teens or tweens, because the characters look like they're teens. There's only one picture, but yeah, this kind of looks like it's going to probably be for, and yeah, it says it's going to be a series for older kids.
Sorry.
And like
it's going to be
go ahead.
premiering on Hulu and Peacock. And no surprise that's aiming on both two streaming services because Peacock is floundering.
Oh yeah, it's not doing all that well. However, Eli Roth also directed a adaptation of the book, The House with a Clock in Its Walls. So it's not like he doesn't have experience working like on stuff that's made for a younger audience. So I mean, I think this could be really good. I'm really hoping, because I've noticed with DreamWorks stuff, it's either really, really, really good or mediocre or bad.
Yeah, it seems like they're taking a step in the right direction. That instead of being formulaic, it's being going against the grain, like which was the original intent of the animation studio, in my opinion. Like have their film elements and work appeal to an older audience and try to take risks. And it seems like after the Illumination merger, consultant or buyout, it sounds like it's going back to that direction again.
Oh yeah, because see, the thing is I feel like a lot of people don't remember, but Shrek was very risky because there hadn't really been a movie like Shrek before.
Never.
Like, because like a lot of people, it's like, oh, it's always been that way. Nope, there wasn't a film that was sort of more edgy and, you know, also kind of push the boundaries, I guess. Because I mean, I know a lot of people like Shrek pushed the boundaries. You didn't have a movie that had a lot of like in jokes for adults, like at all. You didn't really have that until Shrek, and you also didn't have a film that kind of wasn't trying to like rip off Disney.
Yeah, and it also led to a lot of copycats, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, that's how it is.
Yeah, and thankfully, The Last Wish shows that the franchise can still have longevity if you still know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like, I don't think anyone was expecting that Last Puss in Boots movie to be as good as it was.
Amazing.
It was,
and
I know.
I couldn't believe
it's
it
like
was,
you mean.
Oh, sorry.
So
it was the first DreamWorks
no,
animated movie where the head of Illumination worked as an executive producer and consultant. And I was like, wait, seriously? The Minions guy was had a hand in shaping up The Last Wish? Really?
So I know a lot of people give Illumination crap, but it's like, I do think they have, you know, potential. But we also have to remember, you don't always get to make the projects you want to. You have to make the projects the company tells you to. So I have a feeling like, you know, it's like the reason they made the Minions movies was because it was popular. It would make them money automatically. So it's like, I know they've got potential. And they've shown it with, you know, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. So this one's me, right?
No, wait, I think, yeah, this is you. Yeah.
Okay. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 arrives only on PS5 October 20th. Collectors and digital deluxe editions are in this article we are reading. And honestly, even though I don't have a PS5, I'm still kind of excited for this just because the Spider-Man games have been
Oh, yeah, I just beaten the Miles
phenomenal.
Morales spin-off and to prepare myself for this sequel, which I'm really hyped about. Oh,
Because I think we talked about this, but superhero games are another thing where it's like, for the most part, they're usually not
oh
that
no, they were
great.
just. It's been for years. They was just rushing out to time with a product or movie or a show.
Oh,
Hmm.
there's so many of those. Like that, they were. I don't think a lot of people remember, but back in the olden days, if there was a movie, it was gonna get a video game.
Yeah.
Like every single Disney film, any animated film, dude, there was a Cat in the Hat game. That's how
I
bad
remember
it
Dan
was.
Harmon playing that with the Game Grumps.
And I mean, Jad and John even reviewed that. What was it? What was it? That
Oh yeah,
Grinch
we
game.
played
That
did a
Grinch
one
video
shot at
game
that
based off of the
film
movie.
with the Jim Carrey, and oh god, it was a mess.
It was, yeah. So the thing is thankfully studios
Yeah,
have
because
stopped
they
doing
stopped
that.
being
So the
profitable,
thing
and
is
also the licensing fees,
oh
which
yeah,
also shrinks profits. So
oh yeah,
unless the team's really passionate about it or they
and
really
it
want
was.
to do it, they gotta commit, and that's what Insomniac did when Sony gave them the offer to work on a Marvel game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like yeah, it's because I think like the Spider-Man series, but also I know the Guardians of the Galaxy game. A lot of people gave that some good reviews too. Um, so again, it's like I'm kind of happy they're doing it just because we're gonna get better stuff now. Because just some of the games that they released for the movies were
Yeah, and
so
one.
bad.
Sorry.
There was nothing. There was like nothing to them. They were just very bare bones. If
Yeah,
that
and the
makes sense.
thing that confuses me about this game though is that for some reason Harry Osborn is gonna be Venom, which I yeah, in the
What?
games Harry Osborn is Norman Osborn keeps his son in cryostasis because he's infected with some kind of virus, and we see him in a status tube in a like the chamber, and he's just covered in all this black goop, which is supposed to be the symbiotes.
Hang on. Wasn't didn't Harry become the Goblin
Um,
too? I thought that's what would happen.
yeah,
He would sometimes
that's what I
take.
thought
He
too.
would sometimes be the Goblin because that's who his
I
dad
don't.
was. I have not read a Spider-Man comic in years, but I mean, wasn't Venom
Yeah,
somebody
like
else too?
Eddie something.
Yeah, Eddie Brock, I think,
Eddie
is his
Brock,
name. So
yeah.
this just seems kind
Apparently
of
it's a
weird.
thing,
Yeah,
let's
it's usually
see.
Eddie Brock. It's been Eddie Brock, Mac Guerin, and Flash Thompson. So it just seems weird that they're making it Harry. Maybe they just wanted to have Harry. Was Harry already in the
Uh,
games?
he was mentioned at first, but they said that for some reason, and they don't know what happened to him ever since. Like, Norman Osborn fabricated a story about how he's studying abroad.
Hmm. Huh. Maybe they just wanted to bring him in, and they thought this was the best way to do it. I
Oh,
guess. I mean, that's not. It is weird,
he
but
was Venom in that
go ahead.
Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. I'm not entirely sure about
maybe they
this, but I
took
think that was the
inspiration from that.
only time he was ever a Venom outside the video game.
Okay, all right. That could possibly be it then. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, I'll have to wait until it like gets available on PC or whatever. But I mean, the first two
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man games have been
I mean,
fantastic,
I
so I
can
have
give him
faith in
this.
this.
It would be have a lot more emotional at stake if it's a close friend of Peter's who's Venom. I guess that was the logic.
Oh yeah, yeah, that actually does make some
And
sense. All right, now this
okay,
one's
I
yours.
haven't heard about this. A new trailer dropped for Justice League War World. Then let's see.
Woo!
Yes,
I'm
set in
excited.
that new animated universe after they rebooted the old one after whatever the hell Justice League Doomsday was. As in,
So, if you're not a DC fan, War World is this planet apocalypse created, and it's just like imagine it's like people are fighting 24/7 all the time. It's constant, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do. So, I'm excited about this because Warworld is a very fun setting, but also it's going to have Jonah Hex, which is a character I really love. He is a it depends on like which iteration it is, but Jonah Hex is either just a regular old cowboy or he is an intergalactic bounty hunter.
And he was in a really bad movie years ago.
We don't talk about that movie. Just like we don't talk about Bruno, we don't talk about that movie. That movie hurt me in so many ways. I freaking love Jonah, but also like I thought Josh Brolin was the perfect casting, and then they didn't do anything with it. So
they also didn't do any favors by releasing it the same day as Toy Story 3.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was not smart. That was so bad. Okay. So, let's see. Now it is your turn. Yeah. And I'm also really, really excited about this.
Pikmin shows off the character creator, and it's coming out next month.
Yes!
Yeah, they showed off more details about the game, like how you're accompanied by this little dog fella who's like has the strength of multiple Pikmin, and you chips out to find lost explorers on the Pikmin planet. And
yeah, I think you're going to have to find Captain Olimar, who was the original character in the first Pikmin game.
And never catch a break. And for the first time, you can explore at night, because in the previous games, you had to leave the planet at night, because that's when it gets the most dangerous. But no, you actually get to explore at night at your own risk with more powerful enemies and a new Pikmin type called Glow Pikmin, who are only active at night. That looks so
cool. Because see, the thing is like he said, not only would the animals, get more, the creatures on the planet be more ferocious, but they would eat your Pikmin if you left the Pikmin behind. Yeah. I always felt so bad if I accidentally left a Pikmin behind. I'm like, I'm a monster. Oh no, what have I done?
You know how the game's always hinted that it's supposed to be a post-apocalyptic Earth? It's why you find all those Earth items. Mm-hmm. Well, they're exploring with that more in Pikmin and 4, because one of the places you explore is just a straight-up living room in a house.
I'm actually really excited, because another thing about Pikmin is the way they, like the world, the way they show, like, it's also really, really pretty. I know a lot of people maybe just think, it's like, yeah, it's a super cute game, but it's also really... really gorgeous.
This is another passion project of Shigeru Miyamoto, this franchise.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm glad he's still putting, like, effort into it, because, like, the thing about Pikmin, like, one of the reasons I kind of like the Nintendo games is because they're not, what is the word? Like, there is a level of, complexity. They're not super easy,
it's like a real-time strategy.
It's not... Yeah, and it's not, like, super hard like some of these other games. You don't have to put too much effort into it, but you still have to put some into it. And it also just feels a lot more casual than some other games, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So then, this one's me. This one I'm actually kind of interested in. Bewitched is conjuring up an animated reboot. So, what the heck is Bewitched? Now, this was a very long time ago. This was from the 60s. There was a show called Bewitched. And it was about a witch named Samantha who ends up marrying a human. And it's basically about how being married to a witch is really hard. Because, like, poor freaking Darren, he was always the one who was getting cursed, turned into stuff. Samantha's mom, Agnes, would show up, and she was kind of a pain in the ass. No, Endora. Endora was her name. She was kind of a pain. Like, she was like, how... She was like one of those smothering mother-in-laws, but it was worse because she was magic. But Darian and Samantha had a little girl named Tabitha. So Tabitha, turns out, she takes after her mom. and she's magic too. Like, I think it was, I don't remember when Tabitha appeared, but when she did, there was more trouble because she's a little girl and she's a witch. She
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
have
it says
control
here
of her
she's gonna be the
powers.
main focus of this animated series.
And you see, this makes sense because she was a little girl. I think she was maybe, I think she was like maybe 3 in the show because, I mean, she could talk, but she couldn't do much of anything else. And I think they had another kid too later on. But yeah, this is going to be focusing on Tabitha. So this could be really good. And I honestly feel like if they want to reboot a lot of these shows, I think it would just be
Oh
better
yeah,
if they did them
definitely.
animated.
Like, imagine if Disney took the obscure live action movies and rebooted them as an animated movie. Like, imagine
That would be
Newsies as an
awesome.
animated
I
musical.
really think that would be a great idea. That would be awesome. So I kind of hope that if this does well, maybe other people will take like inspiration from it. Just because I also feel like, I mean, I know like animation costs a lot, but I also just feel like they wouldn't have to waste as much money when it comes to paying these actors and the sets and everything. I just think it would be, I don't know, I just personally think it would be easier.
Yeah.
Now, you added
yeah,
this one, didn't you?
Let's see here. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy Rebirth is planned to launch in early 2024 on 2 discs. Yeah, I thought we were past this
dang.
point where games released on multiple discs. Like,
Guess.
I remember the original Final Fantasy VII when it released
Guess
on
we're
the
not.
first PlayStation, came on 4 discs. Like, holy shit. And apparently that's how massive this game is. Like, this is a continuation of the Final Fantasy
Jeez.
remake they did on PS4. And instead of you're finally out from Midgar, and apparently you can expect some changes being made with the story, especially with how Sephiroth
really?
is apparently affecting Cloud's memories, making him think that one thing happened but it really didn't.
So I wonder if it's like story stuff that's making it be on 2
I
discs,
generally
or
don't
if it's
know, especially since
graphics.
apparently a lot of modern games can't be contained on the Blu-ray discs that are available now. Like, it actually has you download the rest of the game when you pop them into your console.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is either gonna go well or not. It's not. Like, there's no two ways about this.
And you got this one. Here's one I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I know you're excited about this. They've released the official gameplay trailer for Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah! Like,
The art looks really,
yeah, I think this
really
is running
good.
on Unreal Engine 5, which is the newest one.
The details are crazy. And I know it looks like a lot of the original characters. I'm watching it muted. Some dude like threw a hat.
yeah,
I think that's
Kung
at
Lao is
Sub-Zero
the
and
one
hit
who
him in the
threw
head
it.
and just turned around.
He fights with...
But he turns around and looks at him like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, he's so done. Oh, wow. This gameplay. I can't get over the details in this.
I know, they're
Holy
really
crap.
taking advantage of
Dude, I don't...
the new hardware now.
See, I don't think I've ever seen like a beat 'em up game that has looked this gorgeous before in my life. Wow, this is beautiful.
I know, and wait till you see get to the fatalities.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be set in the new timeline created by Liu Kang at the end of Mortal Kombat 11, where he's now the god of fire and thunder after Raiden.
Oh jeez. Dude, that was so
Which part did you
violent
get
but
to?
awesome. I think they're
Johnny
fighting Johnny
Cage.
Cash. Is that who they're fighting?
Yeah, Johnny Cage, the
Johnny
Hollywood
Cage.
actor.
There's so much blood on the floor.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and X-ray moves are back.
I just flicked him off.
And you saw his signature nut punch move.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this looks really, really good. And I'm not even like a big
Fighting game.
beat 'em up fan, but
beat 'em up's a different genre.
yeah, I'm not a fighting game person. Like the last one I played, I
Yeah,
think
a
was
lot of
Soul
fun
Calibur a
games I
long time
struggle to
ago.
get into because the complex mechanics and controls, but
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat they're a bit more
Mm-hmm.
simplified, so it's easy for casual audiences to
Oh
learn,
yeah.
but the real challenge is from chain together your combos and your special attacks. And for this one YouTuber who
Mm-hmm.
we've got managed to play hands on, he praised Ace how they made it more accessible. So you can either
Mm-hmm.
strategize, eyes, or just improvise with your combos and string together your attacks. Because a lot of the combos have similar
And I know.
beginnings, so you can either strategize or improvise.
Oh, it's that lady with the funked up
Melina,
mouth.
oh yeah, she's the babe.
Yes. Now see, I remember someone did a list of like what was it, the ugliest females in
Oh,
video
they
games,
did Melina
and I think
dirty.
they
Oh,
was that it. But no, but he was saying like if you just put a
oh
bag over
my
her face, it's
god.
fine. I was like, I guess so. Dude, the guy just used his camera to blind a dude. This is freaking awesome. Oh my goodness. And see, like I think the reason also Mortal Kombat works so well is it
Yeah,
understands
like
what kind of game
it's
it is.
scary, but also at the same time campy.
Yeah, it gets it and it embraces it. And I think that's one of the reasons it's managed to stand the test of time. Oh my god. Dude, he killed him with the hat. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like also you have to admit that the people who make these like ending kills
Oh
are
yeah, like
super
the fatalities
creative.
were originally the Infinity has a way of letting the winner rub the victory in the opponent's face, and they became a staple ever since.
Yeah. And again, it works. They
Mm-hmm.
know what they're doing. Okay, so you know how we were talking about adaptations and how a lot of people are not like putting any effort into them? Well, there is a new game coming out called Lies of P, which is a retelling of
Yeah, it's
Pinocchio.
yeah,
But
it's
this
supposed.
actually looks
Yeah, from
interesting.
what I've seen, they said that the gameplay is inspired by Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Like you're Pinocchio, you're an adult version of Pinocchio, who's traveling this messed up, of like steampunkish version of Italy, looking for his father Geppetto. And
I gotta admit, this actually looks
mm-hmm.
really cool. This art is also really beautiful. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, put effort into it. This looks gorgeous. Like the designs, the setting is really pretty. And see, I also feel like with Pinocchio, I feel like Pinocchio lends itself a little
Oh
more to
yeah,
horror. Because, I mean, it is about a
yeah.
boy
Like
who comes to life
I remember Guillermo
and
del
he's made of
Toro
wood.
compared it to Frankenstein when he was directing this movie.
It kind of is. Mm-hmm. Like, see, we talked about the Pinocchio movie Guillermo del Toro made and how good it was, and I think part of it was because he also sort of embraced how kind
Mm-hmm.
of creepy and weird it is, because in the movie, like, there's a part where Pinocchio gets run over by a car. Um, I think he gets like stabbed once or twice. I
Or
can't.
how he
It's been a while
accidentally
since I
burned
watched
his
it, but it's
feet.
like they're like yes, yes, and it's like again, he is a puppet, so it is kind of weird to have this guy walking around, and all this stuff. And this just, again, like this just seems like kind of
Mm-hmm.
more effort was put in. Like they sat down. It's like, here's our idea. How can we flesh it out? So yeah, I actually think this could be really really
And
good. Now,
I
did I add this or did you add
I
this?
can't remember. So as
This might have been me,
Warner
but
Brothers,
it's your
as
turn.
Warner Brothers Animation Group rebrands to Warner Brothers Pictures Animation, several new projects are announced. Including an animated movie based on the Flintstones. Yeah, I mean, well,
I don't
honestly,
know
it
how to
can't be
feel
any
about
worse
this.
than Viva Rock Vegas. And honestly,
Oh
I'm
God, I
surprised
forgot about
they
Viva Rock
haven't done an
Vegas.
animated Flintstones movies. Oh wait, there was that man called Flintstones back in the 70s that was just
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was a
Like
long
back
time
when
ago.
Hanna-Barbera was still around, and let's see. Yeah, they got they'll probably move in production with that Cat in the Hat movie, the animated one. I've
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen some
I
concept art
remember
leaked
that.
online, and it looks beautiful. Like from the concept art I've seen, it has parts of the houses turn into fantastic imaginative worlds, and the cat's just entirely calm during the whole time, which is I felt like it's more
Yeah, because that's
yeah,
kind of
like
how
it
he is in the
understands the
books.
books a lot better from the looks of it.
Oh
Cause
yeah. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that live action Cat in the Hat movie, but at some point we might have to
oh,
review it just because it's so utterly bizarre.
yeah.
So, I mean, now the thing is, a long time ago there was a live action Flintstones movie. The first one was
Yeah,
not
like they
that
at least
bad.
understood the source
I mean, it is kind
material,
of
and
cheesy.
John Goodman was perfectly casted as Fred.
Oh, he was perfect. Rick Moranis was Barney Rubble. Um, and I mean, like, the thing is that movie was in 1994. 6 years later, they made Viva Rock Vegas, which is supposed to tell how the story of how Wilma
Fred.
met Fred and Barney met Betty.
Yeah, they didn't
but they
have
like
any
replaced
single original
all the original
actor
actors.
for some of that film. So of course it was gonna flop.
It was just. And also, now some people might not remember this character, but I don't even remember when this character started appearing in
Oh, you mean the Great Gazoo?
the show. They had an
Oh, he was in.
yeah.
He debuted in the
this is a
final
character
season of the show.
people either
Like,
love or hate.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, the final
People say it
season.
was a perfect example of how the show jumped the shark.
Oh yeah, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Because again, this is supposed to be a show about cavemen. So why is this
Who
alien
had magic
here?
powers that can grant
And
wishes.
and the animation, the CGI in this movie, of course, doesn't hold up. But it was played by Alan Cumming, and it looked really, really bad.
God.
So I mean, I actually think this could be good. It's just it's been such a long time since there's been like any
Been a lot of
Flintstone
times
stuff.
since there was
So
any Hanna-Barbera stuff that wasn't Scooby-Doo.
that is also true. So this could go either way. I mean, I think it could be good. So we gotta. I guess we just gotta wait. Unfortunately, but yeah. Okay, now this one's mine. The Simpsons team hit pickup line at Fox.
Oh wait, you skipped one.
So,
You skipped one.
We're
The Leprechaun horror movie.
wait. I did. Which one did I skip? Oh, my bad. A new Leprechaun horror movie is in the works, and people are going to be like, "What the heck is Leprechaun?" Well, if you guys don't know, we're going to explain. Leprechaun is a horror franchise where the bad guy,
Played
the
by
monster, is a
Warwick
leprechaun,
Davis.
and people are going to be like, "That sounds super cheesy," and I kind of feel like that's the point. Because these movies don't take themselves
in the first
seriously
movie,
at all.
he killed a guy via pogo stick.
And in another movie, I know this because I've seen the clips on YouTube. There is, I'm not sure what the girl wished for. See, like this big thing, with the leprechaun is he takes people's wishes and gives them to them, but not in the way they want. If that makes sense. It's like a monkey paw thing. And one of them, all right. So I don't know if the director was just really struggling for an idea, or maybe he's kind of horny, but one of the things involves a woman getting her lips, her breasts, and her ass inflated so much she ends up exploding.
That's some deviant level shit right there.
This is also the second time we've talked about inflation on this show. What is happening? But like, another one also is called Leprechaun
The Hood
in the Hood. There's even a rap at the end. It is, oh my god, like they don't take these seriously, and that's kind of why people like them. They're tongue in cheek, and also Warwick Davis
Oh,
loves doing
absolutely.
these
He
movies. They are
he
his
said it was the
jam.
most funny ever had on film.
Oh yeah, and it's like I love Warwick Davis, so it's like, you know what? Yeah, good on him. I'm glad he loves these movies. I'm glad these are his thing. And I'll probably check it out cuz I mean, I really like it when horror is tongue in cheek and doesn't take itself too seriously. And these films have been let me see, when was the first
1993.
one? Yep. See, someone brought this up, but it's interesting how Warwick Davis and oh crap, what is his name? He was in Game of Thrones. Peter Dinklage are two of the most like famous, little person actors, but their careers
Oh,
are so
definitely.
vastly different. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that I'm okay with that because I like them both. They're both fantastic
Oh yeah, and
actors,
Dinklage can
but
also
they're both
voice act. He
they
was
both
in an
have.
episode of Rick and Morty where he played this like diehard type thief and terrorist leader.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
awesome.
he was great in that.
Yeah, and he's also just had such his career has spanned so many franchises too because he was also a lot of people remember Return the Ewoks from was it
Yeah,
Return of
Return
the
of the
Jedi that
Jedi.
they appeared? Yeah, it was Return of the Jedi. The
Mm-hmm.
Ewoks, he was Wicket. He's played Wicket for years. Like there were I think was there 2 or 1 Ewok movies? I think there were 2. Yep, he was in both of those. He's also was like the walk-in for Yoda.
He starred
In the
in
Phantom
Willow.
Menace. Like this is a guy,
Oh yeah.
Harry Potter. Like this is a dude who could probably
Mm-hmm.
never have to work again, but it just seems like he's having so much fun, and you kind
Yeah.
of can't help but love him. So yeah.
And this one
Okay, now
I got.
this
So
one's
this
yours.
is big. The Simpson team has joined the WGA strike. Like this is really big.
Yay!
Like definitely.
This
Like
is massive.
ever since the Baxter out, the Simpsons have become like the golden egg for Disney. Like they've been having a bunch of Disney
yeah.
Plus exclusive shorts. They want to do a second animated movie.
So many.
And
Oh God.
a lot of the people who work on the show have joined the strike, including creator Matt Groening himself. So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So, like, again, this is big just because even though the show, like, a lot of people are like, oh, the show has kind of fallen off, it still makes a lot of revenue and people rewatching
Yeah, it's
the
been
old
consistently
episodes.
one of the most streamed shows on Disney Plus.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot. There's a picture somebody posted of, I think this is one of the writers, Matt Selman. He's wearing a like a bootleg shirt with Bart on it, and he's holding a donut. It's just perfect. So yeah, like them joining the strike, I think that's going to be what kind of makes. I mean, this just kind of shows like not only is this a big deal, but this is going to probably be what kind of is, I think, what will maybe make Disney fall first. Because, like, there's no way they're going to risk this. It's one of their cash cows. How could they risk it? This is something that consistently makes them money.
Hell yeah. And let's see. And I'm really hoping they resolve this. They manage to work out a deal soon. Because it's insane how we had to go through all this again.
I know. We already went through this and we know exactly what happened. But for some reason, they're holding out longer. I don't know. This is, I mean, it's not going to end good for them. So it's like, just hurry up and pay them. It's not that
And you
hard.
got this one.
I'm actually excited about this. New Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary 4K edition is now available. I'm adding this to my
I think
wish
this
list.
is the first time it's on 4K. Oh, yeah.
love this movie. Really?
Yeah,
This is the first
surprisingly,
time?
yeah.
Damn.
And, like, Jurassic Park is obviously one of the cornerstones of Steven Spielberg's career. Like, he helped popularize the use of computer animated special effects for that film. It made dinosaurs cool again. And then it spawned a multi-billion-dollar franchise for Universal.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I know a lot of people are like, it's all franchises and everything, but the thing is that this, I don't think anybody was maybe expecting it to do as well. I'm not sure if it was because it was like, because the thing is this was also like one of the first times they were like using CGI and everything. Because CGI is not as commonplace as it is today.
So because the practical effects are a lot more convincing in my opinion, it's also very limited on what you can have a
totally.
practical effect character do compared to a CG one. And they couldn't do all those hordes of dinosaurs, and all those stuff you saw in the film, at least until computer animation.
But the thing is like with the computer animation, it really seemed like they took their time with it to be like, we need to try to make this look as best as we possibly can. And it still holds up. It's not perfect, but it actually looks better than some.
Hell, it even looks better than Jurassic World.
We'll get into later. Oh God, it does. So yeah, I'm adding this to my wish list just because I, like a lot of people, love Jurassic Park, and I honestly feel like the first movie is probably the strongest out of all of them, which usually is what happens. But okay, now this I actually found kind of interesting. I haven't seen this yet, but one of my friends said it was good. Transformers: Rise of the beat Spider-Man with 61 million box office opening. Now this was on June 12th.
Shows how long of a gap this was.
But also, this seems to be the best Transformers movie in a while because it's done really well and it has an A- on Cinema Score.
Yeah, from what I heard, the reviews were much more mixed, and it seems to have. So far, it's earned at least $341 million at the global box office. Yeah,
it's still not that bad. It's not fantastic, but it could be better.
Paramount's hoping it would be better considering that $200 million budget. Yeah, that's why there are rumors going around that they just might do an animated reboot.
Honestly, I think an animated reboot would be better at this point. It would just be so much easier and it would look so much
they
better.
Got Michael Bay.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't executive
by Michael
producer.
Bay?
The fourth one was.
Oh, wasn't. Oh, thank God. Damn it! Stop letting him be on anything. But, like, people are just saying it's not, like, it's not fantastic, but it's fine for what it is. It's not trying to be anything else than what it is.
And, yeah, I don't think I've watched the Transformers movie since the second one after it just left a bad taste in my mouth.
They gave the robot balls. Why? The robots, they don't need productive organs.
And,
just,
okay. I remember John and I
you'll
freaked
be
out
excited about this, and so will John.
Persona 3 Reload is unveiled. Now, this is a remake of Persona 3, which was, I believe, on the PS2? Let's see, 2006, and... Yep, PS2 and
right.
PlayStation.
It says PlayStation
Portable.
2 Classic.
Like that portable remake they did, and this is gonna look amazing. Like they're redoing everything from the ground up with this. It looks like it's gonna be in the same engine and art style as Persona 5, and it looks amazing. They even got an entirely new English voice cast. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't bring any content from the portable remake into this, but they said they only want to focus on the base game of Persona 3 for this remake.
Now, see, I have one of the Persona games, and the only reason I bought it is because I watched John play it, so, I'm actually kind of excited for this, too, just because I watched John play, and I'm like, this actually looks really, really good, so...
And it's gonna be better for day one for release on Xbox Game Pass.
Ooh, that's awesome. And then
this one
more
I'm really
Persona
hyped about.
news. I'm gonna let you read this just because you're the fan. Yeah, you do it because you're the fan.
A strategy spin-off, Persona 5 Tacticia, is officially announced. It's now Persona 5, if you don't know, is what a lot of people argue is not only the best game in the series, but also possibly one of the greatest games of all time. It was the first ever Persona game I ever played after John convinced me to give it a try, because I'm not that big into RPGs, at least the traditional ones, but I absolutely fell in love with it. Like it has some visual novel aspects with how the his time goes by and how you can interact with characters outside of the metaverse or boss palaces. And I thought, and it was funny because I was wondering, oh, it would be amazing if they do a turn-based strategy spin-off, and I'm getting my wish because it seems like it's taken inspiration from XCOM, Fire Emblem, and maybe even Mario Plus Rabbids, because when I watched the combat gameplay, you can move the characters freely in the field of mobility, like in Mario Plus Rabbids. It also includes a lot of the elements from the combat with how if you hit an enemy with its weakness, you get once more to either attack again or pass it off to a teammate. And they also got the finishing moves as well. Only this time you gotta position your characters in a triangle in order to take out all enemies within it. And it has a new chibi art style which looks adorable.
It does.
Yeah,
this
it's
art style is really cute.
But it's gonna be day one on Game Pass as well. And it seems like.
And also, normally chibi styles don't always work, but it seems like they managed to do the chibi style, but also keep the original design of the
Atlas
characters.
Specializes
they look good.
Translating Japanese anime art styles into 3D perfectly with their work. And you got this one.
Okay, Star Wars Outlaws is a new open. Oh wait, I remember. Okay, so they are Ubisoft is releasing another Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaw. It is a open world game, and this was revealed during the Xbox Game Showcase. It's going to be released in 2024. Now, the reason I know about this is not because of this. It's because some numbnuts on Twitter was like, is there ever going to be another man in Star Wars? Okay. The first 3 movies focused on Luke. There was only one woman in the entire 3 movies that had a, recurring role. The same thing happened with the prequels. So that's 6 movies with a male lead. And this also wasn't counting the other video games, too. Because my fiance played one of them. It had a Jedi, and he had a little robot called Buddy. That's the only reason I remember it. But it's like, and this actually looks really good. So I don't understand why they're freaking
you play as a smuggler from the looks of it, and let's see, and it takes place between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that'll be interesting. I also think it's been a while since we've gotten a video game, hasn't it? I think the last one was in. Yeah, it seems like the last one is. Yeah, Fallen Order. That's the one with the Jedi guy. That was in 2019. I think they did a sequel recently. It's been a while.
I'm trying to. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but.
Wait. I just found Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh, yeah, that was that Flight Combat one.
And Star Wars. Okay, yeah. Okay, so, I mean, I don't know. People complain for the dumbest reasons. But this game looks really good. And, I mean, it's an open world, so, I mean, that's going to be fun. This is another thing that I know you're going to be excited about.
I remember being really hyped when I first heard about this. So, a year or two ago, Rare announced they were collaborating with Disney for a special Pirates of the Caribbean expansion for the Sea of Thieves game. So, for those of you who don't know, Sea of Thieves is an open-world MMO pirate game where you or a group of friends and are basically pirates out on this vast open sea called the Sea of Thieves, where you explore different islands, partake in quests and bounties. He's take part of mine. Like, it's basically the perfect pirate simulator. Like not only do you have to set sail as a crew who maintain the ship, explore it, combating, and it seems like this is going to be the next big license expanding, because they teamed up with Lucasfilms Games, formerly known as LucasArts, for a Monkey
They're the ones who made. Oh yeah, they're the ones who made.
They
You say it.
also made so Rare also made a lot of hit games back in the day, like Donkey Kong Country, GoldenEye, Banjo Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day. They were never really able to recapture the success after the Microsoft buyout, at least not until Sea of Thieves, which is like the biggest game in years. So now
Oh yeah.
for Sea of Thieves, they're doing a crossover with another popular pirate game franchise, Lucasfilm's Monkey Island. And oh
And
yeah,
you
it
love
was
Monkey Island.
the games are just hilarious and oozing with charm. Like it was it was a really big hit for LucasArts back in the day.
And it's still
Yeah.
pretty iconic. A lot of people
Oh
really
yeah,
still
and
love
it's
it.
amazing. They really recreated a lot of stuff from Melee Island and Monkey Island in this game. They even got the rubber chicken pulley. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Ooh.
Yeah, I honestly think you'd love Monkey Island. It seems right up your alley. It's an adventure game. It has a great sense of humor.
I know I have it. I just need to play it. Because everyone says it's like right up my alley. It's like, okay, I'll play it. It looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing this when it
Oh,
launches.
okay, so we have to kind of explain this next piece of news because I think okay, so our friend John commented that I would be excited about this, and I think he said you would too. Because one of these series that I need to catch up on it, but I really liked watching Jad and John play Like a Dragon, which is part of the Yakuza series. And this is like the first part of the Yakuza games that doesn't follow the original character. It follows a new character called Ichiban, who I affectionately
Oh
refer
yeah,
to as
because you have a
Ichiban.
big crush on him.
Because I can't help it. Ichi is such a dork. He is so sweet and stupid. I can't help but love him. And they released a trailer for the next game that's coming out in
Infinite Wealth.
2024. So yeah, so somehow Ichiban is on a beach. I don't know how he got to this beach from Japan, but he wakes up and he's on the beach and he's really confused, and people start freaking out. Like this one woman starts screaming, and then this like old lady points at him. He looks down and realizes he is completely buck naked.
God, I was cracking up. Like that's such a Yakuza way of starting off and unveiling the new game. And
It really is, especially with the how silly this game can get. This is like, yeah, this doesn't surprise me. But like I commented, I'm like, God damn it, you stupid crab, move out of the way.
yeah,
So John was
I noticed
teasing me
all
about
the
it.
people on the beach, except for Ichiban, was speaking English. So it seems like this is going to take place in an American setting.
Because the last game, and I think the game, no, the last game, it was in English. It used to always be in Japanese, but I don't know if they're going to have just them speak in Japanese. I'm not sure, but it does seem like it is taking place in America, and because like Ichiban is talking, but it seems like he's not just confused, but he's not speaking in English. So yeah, I'm excited for this just because I want to see more Ichi, and I think he's going to meet a character from the
Yeah, I believe
games from
Kiryu is also
before.
in this game. Yeah, if you don't know,
That's
Kiryu
Kiryu.
is my bae.
So this game is just going to be us, just going over these two main characters. We're not going to actually play the game. Poor John, he's going to have to deal with our annoying asses.
Anyway.
True. So looking forward to that because I haven't played the Yakuza games, but watching John and Jad play makes me want to play them. My fiance's been playing them, and he seems to really like them.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about this
got this
one.
one.
A new animated short by Disney Animation, Once Upon a Studio, will be shown in front of Disney's Wish. Now, they're saying it's for the 100th anniversary of Disney Studios, and they say it's gonna feature a character from every Disney animated movie over the years. In a different animation studio,
That is
styles as
gonna
well.
be
Hand-drawn,
interesting.
computer animated, live action footage as well. Well, and
Also, 40 voice actors were brought
yeah,
back to the
and
studio.
Eric Goldberg's leading the short. Like, he's my favorite Disney animator. For those who don't know, Eric Goldberg has a bit of a veteran history to him. He worked as an animator for both of late legends Richard Williams and Chuck Jones. He moved to Disney, where he was responsible for the animation and design for The Genie in Aladdin, Phil in Hercules, Louis the Alligator and Princess and the Frog, and let's see, I think he also directed the Rhapsody in Blue segment from Fantasia 2000.
Oh, that's a good one. He's really good at making characters very bouncy and
Expressive.
like giving them a fluidity
and liveliness.
Yes. So, yeah, this is really exciting. But I was just thinking, wait, they said all their animated stuff. I mean, honestly, I don't think they'll do it. Do you think they'll have anybody from Song of the South or no?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I don't think they would. Because honestly, Disney's greatest shame is Song of the South, it seems like.
They feel it's better left forgotten.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this in the last episode. They released the DVD, but it was from another company. Country. It wasn't them. They are not proud of this movie. I mean, like, a lot of people are like, oh, they got rid of Splash Mountain. But like, it really seems like they're trying to get rid of all references to that movie out of the parks.
Yeah, the only thing they said about it was also expect cameos from the unpopular films as well, or lesser known ones, like Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Chicken Little, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I love Mr. Toad. So yeah, I would love to see Mr. Toad again.
And you got this one.
Oh, we have more Disney short news. A new Mickey Mouse short titled Steamboat Silly will be releasing on July 28th. So that's going to be this Wednesday. And it seems like what it is like the gang, Mickey and his friends, are watching Steamboat Willie, and somehow the old Mickey Mouse comes out of the reel and starts
like multiple versions of the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse are just come out of the screen and cause mayhem. And I remember one Twitter guy on Twitter said he had a perfect analysis for it. Like, at first he thought they would just have multiple versions of Mickey, but he realized that the reason they chose the Steamboat Willie version was because he's going to be in public domain next year, and this perfectly encapsulates what's going to happen and how crazy it's going to get.
And a lot of people also don't seem to understand why that's a big deal, because, see, the way copyright works is after a certain amount of time, things become public domain. Like, the reason people can make multiple stories of Winnie the Pooh, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and all that is because it's in the public domain. The people who created those, they've either died or the limitations have expired. Now, Disney's been doing this thing where they've gotten around the public domain, but like, I guess the courts finally said enough is enough. We're not doing this anymore, because Steamboat Willie is finally going to be public domain. Like, that's the reason we're seeing all this Winnie the Pooh stuff. Winnie the Pooh is now in the public domain. So this actually, it is a good analogy. So this is also, I think, maybe also a way of them sort of saying goodbye to Steamboat Willie as well, because I know eventually the courts were going to say you can't keep dodging the public domain rules. So, here we are. Oh, we got more news that you're excited about.
Signs a first look deal with Locksmith Animation, and they're working on two new animated movies under this deal: Bad Fairies and The Lunar Chronicles. Now, Locksmith Animation. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Independent. Oh, sorry.
I didn't mean to squeal like that.
Those of you who don't know, Locksmith is an independent animation studio. They were responsible for the movie Ron's Gone Wrong, which I haven't seen yet, but heard good things about, actually. Yeah, like
Same.
it's on Disney Plus, I think, after the Fox buyout.
Mm-hmm. It's about a little robot
And
that goes
here's
that like
one.
malfunctions.
The Bad Fairies is a subversive musical comedy set in contemporary London. Focuses on a badass gang of fairies who break every rule in the book. Deborah Francis Wright, creator and host of the podcast The Guilty Feminist, is writing the screenplay. Megan Nicole Dawn, creator and director of Netflix animated musical series Centaur World, is attached to direct. Oh, they got the creator of Centaur World on this.
And I heard Centaur Wars is good. I
And
still
the
need to
second
watch
project,
that.
The Lunar
I'm behind
Chronicles,
so much.
based on.
Okay.
You
Oh, I
got
want to talk. Guys, The Lunar Chronicles is a fantastic book series. When I saw that they were adapting The Lunar Chronicles and not doing it live action, I almost lost my mind. Because, see, The Lunar Chronicles, it's a futuristic storyline, but it's all inspired by fairy tales. Like, the first book is called Cinder. It's about a girl who is a cyborg, and her prosthetic is her foot. So Cinderella. But see, the thing is like Marisa Meyer, who wrote this, did such a good job of planning everything out. It all blends together really well, and also like the main villain in this series is really good. She's like the evil stepmother, but they, they also explain kind of why she's like that as the story like goes on and everything. So I'm genuinely excited about this, just also because I really want to see more books be adapted into animation. I just think in general it's well, see, like I think one of the things somebody has brought up is that when people age, that's what happens. They grow up, and so they sometimes don't look like the characters anymore. But if they're doing the voices, definitely. It's completely different. They can still, a voice actor can still imitate that voice. And also we need more animation that's not kind of the same. So I'm just really genuinely excited about the Lunar Chronicles. I cannot wait.
I bet. And speaking of Warner Brothers Animation, you got this.
Oh, you're gonna be excited about this. Mortal Kombat Legends, Cage Match exclusive, full voice cast and plot revealed. So there is a full voice cast, plot synopsis, and exclusive first look photo for Mortal Kombat Legends Cage Match. It is a sequel to 2020's Scorpion's Revenge, Battle of Realms, and Mortal Legends Snowblind. So this is going to be about Johnny Cage.
Yeah, it's
he looks really young in this picture.
It's supposed to be Hollywood in the 1980s, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was getting from it. It's going to have Joel McHale returning as Johnny Cage. Jennifer Grey is going to be in this. Okay. Dustin Brown as Chuck Golden. Gray DeLise, who I love, as Kia. Robin Atkin Downs as Sinnock. Not sure if I said that name right. Zahara Fazal as Jakarta. Yeah. Am I saying that right? Probably saying. Wait, Gilbert Gottfried's in this?
Maybe.
Was this one of his last roles?
Voice roles back when
it must have been. Kelly Hu is Hashra. Okay. Matt Yang King is Concierge. Phil Lamar is Brian Van Jones. Oh, Matthew Mercer is going to be in this. He's the director. Dave B. Michael as Raiden, and Armin Taylor as Master Boyd.
Have
you watched the other movies, Jad?
Around to it. I got a massive backlist to get through.
Yeah. This animation looks really good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I will admit
Especially from the clips I've seen where they don't skimp out on the gore. Like, they even do x-rays of bone shattering.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So if you're a fan, you're going to be fed good. You're getting a lot of Mortal Kombat content,
and there's
Jad.
also going to be some more adult animated content from Warner Brothers coming out as well on Max, because Harley Quinn is returning in season 4 this summer. Yeah, I don't know much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, it would be stupid if they didn't, because, I mean, that's been one of their shows that have been consistently doing well.
the biggest show back when DC Universe was a streaming service. And then,
I think that was the only reason people bought it was for that.
Came to HBO Max, people jumped ship. Because they did. And yeah.
Okay, so there's some shows on here that I haven't heard of. One of them is called 10-Year-Old Tom. This is its second season.
And
the Wikipedia says an average kid must contend with well-meaning but questionable guidance of the adults around him. Kind of basic. Young Love, which expands on the animated short Hair Love. That really cute short about the little girl. Yeah, that's going to be cute. I guess it's going to maybe be like a prequel, maybe? I'm not sure. Now, this we're both really excited about.
Oh, which one? Oh, the Fiona and Cake one? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Adventure Time with Fiona and Cake.
A new half-hour adult animated series.
Keyword adult, because unlike the original Adventure Time, this one's aimed exclusively at an older audience.
Which makes sense, because most of us are grown up. Like, most Adventure Time fans are grown up now. Now, people like, who the heck are Fiona and Cake? Well, Ice King kind of sort of wrote a fanfic, but he switched everybody's gender, so Fiona is a female Finn, and Cake is a female Jake. And Ice King even put himself in the story as the Ice Queen. But I am excited for this just because I love Adventure Time. It is literally one of my favorite animated series ever. So we're also getting some new stuff. Keeping Up with the Joneses. The Newberrys struggle to hold on to their past glory while living in the shadow of Jerry Jones and other rich neighbors in the wealthy Dallas suburb of Highland Park. I don't know how that's... I don't know. Doesn't sound that interesting to me. Okay. Now, there's another one called The Anything Factory from Tom Kaufman, who worked on Rick and Morty. Anything Factory follows Henry Zingo as he returns home to reconnect with his ailing father and help his sister manage the family business, a Wonka-esque factory riddled with ethic violations.
Interesting.
That kind of sounds interesting. What do you think, Jad?
Uptown Bodega. Tati Cruz has inherited his father's old bodega and vows to keep the business booming in a fast-changing Nueva York with the help of her husband, 3 kids, and Rocky the Bodega Cat. That's... yeah.
I might just watch it for the Bodega Cat. So, I mean, at least this is some semi-good news, considering, you know, all the stuff that's... yeah. So,
I think I added this, a new Christmas holiday event is coming to Disney Hollywood Studios this holiday season. Disney Jollywood Nights.
I heard about this.
Nights, and...
yeah, I heard about this watching some YouTube videos. And I'm actually really excited about this because Kermit and Miss Piggy are going to be at Hollywood Studios.
I'm so glad they're doing more Muppet stuff now. Yeah.
Thank God, right? Because this is something I think we mentioned, is that Disney was not doing anything with the Muppets license, despite having it for years.
And
I think they've also done some other, Christmas stuff with the Muppets, because I think, didn't they have, like, a bus with the Muppets on it singing Christmas songs in one of their parades? Yeah, so this looks really good. There's also, you guys can't see the picture, but in the picture there's Belle and Tiana. So I also heard, I think they're going to be doing a new, I can't remember if it's at Hollywood Studios or not. There's going to be like a new little Frozen show, but I can't remember if it's at Hollywood Studios or Disney or Magic Kingdom. I'll have to double check that. But I mean, this is a big deal. I haven't gone to the parks around Christmas, but I always hear that the Christmas show, like the Christmas shows and parties are some of the best.
I remember going there years ago, and the decorations were always beautiful.
Oh, I bet they were. Oh, now this, I think, yeah, you added this. I'm actually kind of excited about this because I actually liked this movie. The Incredible Hulk is finally coming to Disney Plus.
After years, Universal, for years they had the film rights to solo Hulk movies, which is why The Incredible Hulk was produced by Universal and not at and that's also why the Hulk hasn't had a solo movie since because of that. But now Disney, or more specifically Marvel Studios, they gained back the film rights to the character as a whole, which is why he was always in an ensemble pick, so a side character. So
yeah, that makes sense as to why it took so long for them to get the rights to this.
So yeah, while The Incredible Hulk's gonna be on Disney Plus, there's no telling what they're gonna do for a solo Hulk movie if they decide to ever do one again.
Yeah, because from what I remember, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is like, it's
yeah,
Bruce
like
Banner
he finally
and Hulk. He's like in the Hulk body, but
he finally embraced the Hulk and as a part of him, instead of some kind of disease, which is why he now has the Hulk's body, but also still his voice and intellect and consciousness.
Yeah. He's like stuck. I don't think he can transform back from what I understand.
At least better. Oh,
you're going to be excited about this.
Let's see, what is that? Oh yeah, season 3 of Primal is in development. And
thank God, I still haven't watched this yet, but I'm really glad this show is still doing well. Because it's like one of the few adult shows that's not a Family Guy or South Park ripoff. I'm so thankful for that.
I was curious about what they were going to do now that Tarkovsky's got a new show, Unicorn Warriors Eternal. But it seems like they're still going ahead. He's still going ahead with Primal because, from what he said, he always envisioned Primal to be an anthology series, and now they're going to focus on a new cast of characters apparently in that same world.
Oh. Okay, so it's like moving on from the original character to new ones? Okay.
But it's not all bright spots, because you got this next one.
Velma renewed for season 2. God fucking damn.
You watched... Oh, sorry.
Alright, I want to say...
You were actually brave enough to watch that show.
Oh. I watched the first episode. I couldn't do any more. Like I first of all, the first scene has 2 cockroaches fucking, but then next scene it's a bunch of naked teenagers in the shower. No, it's so uncomfortable. And see, I don't really think people are gonna hate watch this one just because it's kind of old news. But from what I'm understanding, some people think the second season was already finished before.
Yeah, that's
the first season. Like before they posted the first season.
Anime productions goes. Like some of those big networks, they tend to already have a second season in development before the series even premieres. That way, they can just use it as a fluff piece to strum up marketing.
Yeah, so I just also feel like since there's a lot of new content coming out, I feel like this is going to get pushed to the wayside. Because also I feel like the outrage is over. We know it's bad. We know it's probably not going to get any better. So...
I remember one YouTuber I followed, he had a perfect way of fixing it. Like, instead of it being the rebooted version of the Mystery Inc. gang, it takes place in the same universe as Scooby-Doo, but these characters would be like the rival gang. Like, while you still got Scooby and friends doing their stuff to the side, it would focus on this awful version of them.
Yeah, that would be a much better idea than this. Like, really, I think the issue is, from what I'm understanding, is that Mindy Kaling wanting to make her own show, but HBO was like, we're going to slap Scooby-Doo onto this. It was supposed to be something completely original, and they made her make it a Scooby-Doo show. Which kind of makes sense. Because here's the thing, if this had been maybe an original property, I think it would have done a little bit better. Okay, so this is actually some good news. Yeah. FCT files injunction to block Microsoft Activision deal.
For those of you who haven't been keeping up, Microsoft have been on a buying spree when it comes to developers. Like, they bought Bethesda and all the developers, and about a couple of years ago, I believe, if in 2022, they announced to plan a plan to buy Activision for I forgot how much, but it was an insane amount of money. Like I gotta Google it. So
I think it's six. It says
holy
69 billion.
And Activision
That is
Blizzard,
a lot. Holy
they
crap.
own a lot of stuff. They own Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and they're like the biggest third-party company in the game industry. And to have a massive first-person game company like Microsoft buy that and make them Xbox exclusive, that is definitely a big antitrust case right there.
So, like, I mean, the reason people are like, well, why is this good? It's like, well, people have been noticing that companies have been buying up, like, IPs and other companies so they can have more power and more push. So the thing is that the fact that they decided to block this is kind of a big deal, just because when we, like, Disney bought Fox and ended up owning, like, more media. They own, like, I think 52%. That's a lot. Like, a lot. So, I mean, this just kind of works better for everybody, because then that means there's not as much, what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, it's
control.
monopoly.
It means the industry's not so. Yeah. It's not a monopoly, which is really good. So yeah, I don't know if. I mean, I'm hoping they don't change their mind on this. We really don't want Microsoft to buy Activision. We really don't want that.
It's gonna be hell.
I
added this one.
Is this one mine or yours?
The Last of Us is getting a haunted house at this year's Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. Yeah, now for those of you who don't know, oh sorry, want to go?
Oh no,
for those
you go ahead, because you know
Halloween
more
Horror
about
Nights
this
is
than
the
I do,
biggest event at Universal. It was a big hit ever since 1991, and they were able to capitulate on an audience Disney couldn't appeal to, and they've been doing it every year ever since, minus the 2020 for obvious reasons. And
they did, I think. Did they do Chucky last year or something else?
Chucky's gonna be this year, and
last
year I trying to remember but I remember they did one based on some Netflix show, but I can't for the life of me remember. No, that was a few years back.
Yeah, I can't remember either. So basically, Universal, this is one of their big draws, like, probably even more so than Disney, because, Disney can't really do horror. They have, like, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but that's kind of it. They have, like, Nightmare Before Christmas and their Disney villains. But Universal has a plethora of, like, horror-related stuff, and this is kind of, more for the, like, the teen, the adults.
Yeah, and they also work out a licensing deal with rival studios and companies. Hence why they're doing a haunted house based on the Last of Us video game.
Again, not a surprise, because, the game and the show have done so well. And it's zombies, right?
Zombies,
but zombies.
They're infected with fungus. Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, they're infected by spores.
And the zombie spores that infect ants and controls their bodies.
That's actually a thing that happens too. Fungus is so creepy. I love it.
Okay,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. But next, controversial Disney CFO Christine McCarthy steps down amidst rumors of clashes.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Okay, so there's been a lot of corporate shakeup at Disney over the years, especially after Bob Iger had to do damage control and cut costs for the company after the streaming pivot turned out to be a disaster during the pandemic. And if you thought the cutbacks and layoffs at Disney were bad, Christine McCarthy argued that they didn't go far enough, if you can believe it. That was one
What?
On the
Really?
argument she had with Bob Iger, she insisted they had to do further consolidation and more layoffs. But Iger said no.
Wow.
And also, she is named in a lawsuit as a defendant, along with former president and CEO Bob Chapek, for allegedly misleading shareholders on the losses on Disney Plus.
Ooh, wow. So
Oh
she might be
yeah,
kind of
and
boned.
it also means Bob Iger's stay at Disney might go on a bit longer than planned.
Yeah, like it's kind of interesting because it's like Disney. It's interesting because Disney was having these like fantastic years, but it seems like ever since Chapek came into like Chapek was the boss for like all of what a minute. It seems like everything went downhill. And now Iger's coming into trying to fix everything. Like, they've not only is the streaming services not doing well, but they had to close down. They're closing down the Star Wars hotel completely. They're not going to retheme it. They're just closing it down.
Allegedly, the Imagineers tried to pitch a Mandalorian retheme into the hotel, but Iger didn't want to put any more money into it after the loss.
He's kind of got a point. It might have been just better to maybe scrap it and then fix it because the hotel didn't even have a pool or anything, so it might just be easier for them to make a new one. Yeah, we've both mentioned how we're like not the biggest Iger fans, but if Chapek had stayed in charge, Disney would probably be in even more trouble.
Chapek had like the PR skills of basically a dead rat. Like he did not. He was not a good speaker when it came to public relations and communication. And I remember he was even booed at Disney's own expo when he took the stage.
Yeah, but also like he went to one of the parks and people were booing him at the parks. Like, I knew he wasn't going to last, but now the fact that he's possibly getting sued. Dude, his career is over. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is something that's been sort of a hot topic. So we have one article posted, but then I'm also going to read another article. So, The Flash disappoints with 55 million debut. Pixar's Elemental flops with 29.5 million. However, this was posted this week. Spider-Man returns to number 1 as The Flash collapses to 73%.
Yeah, it came into third place behind Across the Spider-Verse and Elemental. Which Elemental even had a better
Elemental actually
compared to The Flash. Like, holy shit.
It's made much more. It's actually, I think, made like 125 million, I think. Like, it actually managed to... So, Spider-Verse managed to return to number 1, and now I think Elemental's like maybe... Yeah, Elemental's still in second place. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know how you could not be following this news about the Flash and not know about like its complicated history. Because see, Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash, has I really feel like Ezra Miller's not gonna be able to recover from this.
No.
There's no way. Because see, okay, so first in June 2011, while he was filming Perks of Being a Wallflower, he got arrested for disorderly conduct. Because this I didn't know about.
Oh, yeah.
He had 20 grams of marijuana with him.
Yeah, so that's...
Okay, that's not too bad. But you want to do... Okay, but then after that, in 2020, a video surfaced showing Miller strangling a woman and throwing her to the ground. I'm not exactly sure what happened with this one. It doesn't say. I don't think he went to court for this one. Now, what people know more about is Hawaii. I don't know what was going on with Miller, but they decided to go to Hawaii, and from March 7th to March 28th, the police were getting multiple calls about them. He was filming people, loitering, arguing with people. he like was staying at a hostel. There was a bunch of harassment. Um, he claimed he was accosted by a Nazi. He got angry at people singing at a bar that had karaoke.
Apparently, he tried to
Um,
film. Oh,
he tried
sorry.
to say he was like unlocked.
Apparently, he tried to film the
Go ahead.
incident so he could later sell the footage as an NFT. And
Jesus Christ.
let's see.
Oh my god.
And he allegedly threatened a couple of and stole the wife's passport and her husband's wallet. And
Jesus.
and then he sent death threats to the couple. And let's see, second degree assault. And let's see, in June 2022, about a year ago, it was served a temporary order of protection on behalf of an 18-year-old or Standing Rock Shiaks activist, and from against Mueller, who allegedly threatened violence, intimidation, threat of violence, fear, paranoia, delusion, and drugs against their own children. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and this girl who he was they were with, she was 12 when they met in 2016, and
Oh
he
god.
was 23. Yeah, so it's pretty obvious he, groomed her and manipulated her and all this stuff. And that's like not even, there's still
And
more.
his former music collaborator Oliver Ignatius said that he had witnessed Miller verbally abuse Iron Eyes over her wearing makeup. And apparently she referred to the abuse as homophobic. Oh no, it gets worse.
How is this getting worse? We're reading the Wikipedia page and it doesn't stop. Oh my
And
gosh.
apparently he thought he was Jesus Christ and referred to himself as a messiah to Native Americans. What?
Oh my god. Oh my
And
god.
a mother and a
Not
12-year-old
done. How does this
child
keep
were
getting
granted a temporary
worse?
harassment protection order because they alleged Ursa Miller harassed them both. And the child's mother accused Miller of taking an interest in her child because of the, quote, Stalin maturity level. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
Come on.
I think I just
Oh,
threw
it's
up a
still
little bit.
going.
Jeez.
No. Miller's been housing a woman they met in Hawaii and her 3 children.
Again with Hawaii.
And Miller allegedly allowed guns and ammunition to be easily obtained and inaccessible to the children. And let's see, oh gun. And they allegedly blows marijuana smoke into the baby's face. And
What?
And Yellowstone alleged that
What the hell is
Miller
Child Protective
ran a
Services?
large unlicensed marijuana cultivation operation. And they get an burglary charge. Holy shit. And
Jesus Christ.
Miller was charged with felony burglary in Vermont. And the police indicated was theft of bottles of alcohol from a private home. Holy shit. And Warner Brothers thought people would forget all about all that shit.
Yeah, like this all happened recently. This is not like it happened.
It happened within the last year.
Years ago. Yeah, even like the early stuff that was in June 2011. Like, jeez, like okay, so the thing is everybody was like, everybody who was like either working for Warner Brothers or working on the film have been hyping this movie up forever. They've been saying it's so good, and also saying like, oh my gosh, it's the best superhero film ever. So, and there's also a lot writing on
Yeah.
this just because they're restarting the whole like DCU after this, but again, there was a lot writing on this film, and the fact that it has failed this badly is just mind-boggling to everybody. Well, like not it's just more mind-boggling to the people in charge of the studios, it seems. Because people are like, is this superhero fatigue? No, this is bad movie fatigue.
Like, this is the sort of rushing out superhero movies and not working and properly on the story or giving special effects artists and animators more time to work with.
And that's another issue, is like a lot of special effects artists have come forward and have said that working on this film was very unpleasant. There was so much work they had to do. There wasn't enough time. And this has been this is not like new news. Like, there are people who have literally said, like, I'm not going to work for Marvel anymore just because they're asking too much of the special effects artists and not giving them enough time. And, okay, so another thing is, people were mentioning there were special guest stars
Cameos.
or something.
Yeah.
So, I went cameos, but what they did is they deepfaked
a lot of them
stuff.
were computer animated or motion capture. Even Christopher Reeves. Oh my god.
Which is kind of insulting. And see, another thing is, I'm not 100% sure if this is true or not, but somebody says that George Reeves, who was one of the first people to ever play Superman, they deepfaked his face too. And for those of you who don't, yep, there's a CGI version that appears in, okay. And people's like, why does this matter? So, George Reeves committed suicide because of being Superman. He claimed that role ruined his life. So the thing is also, I don't think he has any family that's still alive. So they were just like, you know what? We'll put him in this film as a cameo, with no thoughts or regards to him, his legacy, or his family. I'm like, that's something that really, really, really pisses me off. Like, so much. How dare you do that to this man? And it's like, some people's like, well, not everybody knows about that. But if you go and type in Superman actor committed suicide, it's him who comes up. It's also like kind of one of the most famous cases in American history. So it's just let the man rest. It's so insulting that they did this to him. And at the same time, like, from people say, it's not just the fact that it's CGI, it's really bad CGI. Like, the screenplay is bad. The third act wasn't great. Like, people say Michael Keaton's great. Because, it's Michael Keaton. But it also just, I don't know. I think the thing is, this movie focused too much on having all these, like, little all these cameos, and then didn't focus on the actual meat of the story and the characters. And I think that's kind of why I'm not, to be honest, I didn't think this movie was going to do well because of Ezra Miller, but it was compounded by all this other stuff.
Someone's going to tell me Safsat's going to be pissing and shitting and coming himself in front of shareholders soon. Yeah. And
I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't think Miller's going to stay as a Flash. Real quick, just to wash the taste out of my mouth. If you want a good time traveling Flash story, watch the animated movie Justice League Flashpoint. It has a similar premise, only it's much better and more focused. Much better. All right, now we're gonna move on to some more news. I'm not happy about this either.
Marvel faces backlash from fans and artists over the AI intro for Secret Invasion. And because of this, I've been holding off my Marvel catch-up marathon a little bit longer because of this. Like, Jesus Christ.
Everyone is pissed at this now. It was like they said the episode was good, but then when they saw they were using AI, they were like, "Oh fuck
Yeah,
no."
like this is like Samuel Jackson, and they had to chain it with those computer generated AI bullshit.
It
Yeah, I
looks so
know it looks all
ugly
jawbone
too.
and staticky. It like they took a bunch of clippings out of our magazines and stitched them together like some kind of surreal serial ransom note.
It's just really well. See, like also see someone on Reddit said this is the worst time to use AI, especially
Yeah,
when
it's
it's
so
at the very
tone
center of the
deaf.
writer's strike. And I'm just like, and that why would you do this? Oh my god, I don't know. See, I keep saying this, but I really feel like some of the CEOs and bigwigs at these companies are not on the pulse of news at all. Why would you do this, especially when it's during the writer's strike? Hey,
Oh my god.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just, and again, it just looks so ugly and weird and warped. And I think one of the people who worked on it said to represent the deceptive nature of the show,
I
you still could
know
have just
you.
hired an artist
Oh
to do
my
that.
god.
This is so exhausting. Okay, we're gonna move on to some good news. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse just passed a big global box office milestone. It has made 500
And
million
as of the
worldwide.
recording for this podcast, 559 million worldwide. Yeah.
Oh damn!
And
This movie has got
I
legs. It's
know.
doing so well.
So much so that it returned to number one in like its third weekend, I think.
Yeah, this is the third weekend. And I think it's just because this month has not been spectacular for movies, because like the only other big movie that I can think that's come out recently that did well at all was the Little Mermaid remake. It's still doing and that was still doing fairly well too. So it's yeah, so I mean also because again we were talking about the Flash. They've been hyping the Flash up for like like what 2 years I think, because I think they had to push it back. So yeah, I'm not really surprised just because I finally saw Across the Spider-Verse. There's no contest of which is the better movie, but also which uses like the multiverse better. I know a lot of people like if you're not a comic book person, you're like all this multiverse stuff is new. It really isn't. The multiverse thing has been
since the
around
the 80s,
for a
I
while.
believe. At least that's what one comic book fan artist I follow said. Like, it's only now recently that Hollywood movie studios are aware of this. And hell, Miles Morales originated from the multiverse, and he's became a really popular character ever since.
Yes, he did. Because see, from what I remember in the comics, Peter got transferred to multiverse. He's like, where the heck am I? He meets the other Spider-Man, and then he's like, wait, who the heck is this? Miles takes off his mask. He's like, I'm Spider-Man, because in that world, their Peter Parker passed away.
Yeah, that's how it went.
And so he had to take on the role of Spider-Man.
Comics, the Ultimate Marvel timeline, I believe.
And also, like, see, Miles actually wasn't that popular until these movies. They managed to make him, like a household name. But also, like, I think what I've been saying this for a while, like, when it comes to superhero movies, there's so much you can do with them. The problem is a lot of these superhero movies are not pushing the envelope or trying to do better. So that's why Across the Spider-Verse is doing well. That is why the Guardians of the Galaxy, despite it being released in I think May or something, the third movie is still doing well because they at least tried. Like, the reason these movies are doing so well is because the people behind them are putting in the
apparently
effort.
James Gunn didn't like what they did to the Guardians in Infinity War and Endgame, but he still worked with it. Like, he could have he didn't choose to just retcon it. He worked with it and built upon it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just and also this first Spider-Verse movie, it won a bunch of Annie awards. It
The
won
Academy
the Golden
Award.
Globe, and it also won the Oscar for it won the Oscar for best um, animated picture. And it had been years since a non-Disney or Pixar
Yeah, I
film
don't
had
think
won
since
best animated
Rango.
picture. So I'm not surprised this. Yeah, it had been since Rango,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm not surprised this is doing really well. And I hope it continues to
And
do
there
well
are
because it's a
rumors that
fantastic movie.
after all that backlash with the artists in the crunch, they might delay it by years. Yeah, same here.
That's fine. Let the artists work. Let them rest. They're freaking people, not machines. Okay, now the rest of this news is all
Yeah,
going to
I
be video
added
game
all
related.
this one I'm hyped about. A brand new 2D Mario game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, is revealed and coming this October.
Ooh,
Like, this one looks very trippy. Like,
exciting.
it seems to be going for a more stylized art style compared to the new Super Mario Bros. Games. And there's this new power up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's a flower that if you touch it, things get really trippy. Like the warp pipe starts slithering like snakes. Mario becomes really tall except when you're crouching. and and there's like this fruit that turns him into an elephant.
Oh yeah, I've seen people drawing that because the design is so cute. But it's not just Mario. Peach, Luigi, and
As
Daisy
well
are
as
also
Yoshi
going to
and
be playable
Toad.
in the game. Yeah, it's
Yes,
this is a platformer. So I mean, I know this is gonna do well, but the art
I
looks really beautiful. It is like really trippy,
know it's
but it
like they
looks really
listened to the
beautiful.
criticism of the new Super Mario Brothers feedback, and they decided to just take more risk with the art style and the art direction. Oh, definitely.
And I think it's gonna pay off. Plus, it's Mario.
Oh, hell yeah.
Everybody freaking loves Mario. How can you not love Mario?
And
Speaking of Mario, Petey Piranha, Wiggler, and Kamek are coming to Mario
oh
Kart
yeah,
8
this
Deluxe.
is called
The game that ruins
Booster,
friendships.
of course, past DLC. And from the looks of it, we also get a new track which is taking place entirely in a giant bathroom.
Interesting.
Yeah, they'll be refilling more courses for this DLC pack soon. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And sorry, there's a fly.
It's fine. We got a lot of Mario news from this from Nintendo because there's also going to be a Luigi's Mansion remaster along with a brand new Princess Peach game.
Details are slim. They only showed off a little snippet of gameplay and a bit of the Luigi's Mansion one as well. But they'll be unveiling more details soon. Both are aiming for release next year.
Yeah, it seems like this Luigi game is a remaster of the first one. Because this reminds me... Oh, the second one. Yeah, right. Looks like kind of like one of the old ones. And the Princess Peach game, it kind of looks like she's on a stage or something. About. I mean, either way, I'm excited because it's been a long time since Princess Peach has gotten her own game. She had one, I think, on the DS.
Yeah, where they weaponized her emotions.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what that game was called, but I do remember people liking that game. It's been a very long time since she has been the star of her own. It was called Super Princess Peach. It has been a very, very long time since she has been the star of her own game. That was in 2005 and 2006. So, and I think this might be because, I mean, she's always been a popular character, but people are saying that they think the Super Mario Brothers movie kind of made her, she's gained more popularity. Possibly. Which I think could be possible. But again, I'm just excited because it's been forever since she's gotten her own solo game.
And we're not done with the Mario news yet, though. Because yet another
we are not.
Game was unveiled. Super Mario RPG is gonna remake this November on the Nintendo Switch. Okay, now for those of you who are too young to remember, Super Mario RPG was a collaboration between Nintendo and Square, the team behind Final Fantasy, where they decided to take the RPG genre and make Mario star in it, which it's very memorable. It introduced characters exclusively to that, like Gino and Mallow, and none of the characters who were characters. It even had Bowser and Princess Peach join Mario's party in the role-playing game. It was regarded as one of the best Super Nintendo games and one of the best Mario games of all time. Like, it helped start Mario's career in RPG games. Like, we got Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games after that.
Yeah, and I think hasn't Mallow showed up in other games too? Like that's how popular he was. No, like as an unlockable character
Mallow
or something.
No, haven't appeared since. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really shocking to me. Just because I know how popular
the rights
they were
to them are co-owned between Nintendo and Square.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's right. Like when it comes to rights and characters, it's always very iffy. So I'm excited about this just because, I mean, I know this game is iconic. I never got a chance to play it.
And I think that's it for the... Oh, wait. Yeah, I played a little bit of this game. Didn't get too far, but I remember it being very charming with its humor and its art direction. And, yep, that's the news.
All right.
All we got left is recommendations.
Whew, that was a lot.
Yeah,
do you want to go first, or should I go first?
My first recommendation is Caddicarus. Caddicarus, or Jim Caddick.
Woo.
He's a YouTuber who's been around for years. He usually he does these mega videos every month where he reviews games of a certain topic, like baby games, Pixar games, Marvel games, bootleg Crash Bandicoot games, Spyro games, and most recently he looked at cursed video game commercials.
Dude, his videos are so funny and absurd. They're fantastic.
He has the absurdist British humor, and at the end of every video, he has asked his fans on Twitter to give his dog Stan, which is like this boxer or Rottweiler dog, something he wants to tell Stan. Like in the last video, a fan wanted Caddicarus to say the following to his dog. Paddington Bear killed a queen, and his dog reacted by letting out a burp, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh my god. I remember someone. The first video I watched of him was the review of Snow White and the Seven Clever Boys, and no, I didn't misspeak. That's the name of the game.
God, it was one of those bootleg games, and oh god, I remember someone uploaded the cartoon onto YouTube, and I lost it when they had that one little blackface kid. Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh god, yes. And the game isn't that old either. It was like in the 2000s. What the hell? I also recommend him. I'm co-recommending.
My second recommendation, Piece of Cake. It's a cute little animated short on YouTube. Yeah, you showed me this.
Oh yeah. I think I showed this to you, didn't I?
It takes place in a bakery after hours where this wedding topper, these wedding toppers on cakes are dancing. However, one woman isn't as excited to be dancing with the man who's supposed to be her husband on the top of cake. Her eyes are drawn to this one other woman who feels the same way when being trapped with that guy. And it's about them. The story is about them trying to break norms so they can be with each other despite what the other cake toppers think. And there's absolutely no dialogue in this short. It's all told through the animation and the visuals, which I love. And
it does it so well too. It's so.
I've always been a
cute.
sucker for cartoons that show and don't tell. Like, I've always been that way ever since I was a kid.
It like has a really cutesy style, but it also like tells a really
Definitely.
compelling story too. And like Jad said, there's no talking. It is such a great short film. It is by Soap Tears on YouTube. So if you get a chance, go watch it. It is phenomenal.
Yay.
Now it's my turn. Okay. So I started playing replaying a old game of mine. I decided to start it over completely. I am playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've just been it's like I need something to do, and I decided just to start my island over, and I really honestly forgot how much I love the game. How soothing it is and how simple it is. Like I really feel like whoever originally came up with this concept is a genius just because it's such a simple game, but people love it, and I think it's because of the simplicity. It's not too hard, and it's like fighting demons or something. It's just like a little, let's build a nice little house, let's fish, let's catch some bugs, and it's just perfect. And then, as I mentioned, I finally saw Across the Spider-Verse. I think I'm trying to decide if I think I'm going to put this above Guardians 3, but it is a really close tie. Just because, like, the first Across the Spider-Verse movie was really good. It was fantastic. And this second one is just as good.
Like, they took bigger risk. It tells a darker story.
It's very rare.
Oh, yeah. And
And but it also still, like, pays homage to the first movie in a really well done way. And also, like, the new villain is really, really cool. He starts out as, like, really, he starts out as a joke.
Spot.
Like, see, he's called the Spot. And at first, he keeps on saying, "I'm your nemesis, Spider-Man." And Miles is like, "Who the heck are you?" It's like he has no idea who this guy is. And he doesn't seem to take him seriously until the guy gets the idea to increase his power. Because, see, what happens is he has these spots on his body, and the spots open up portals. But he figures if I can find a way to, like, increase my power, then maybe, Spider-Man will finally take me seriously. But he also blames Spider-Man for who he is and what he's become. But technically, it kind of was also his own fault since he was working for the bad guy. So it's like I don't have too much sympathy for him. But also, like, the other Spider-Men that they introduce are so cool. Of course, we have Spider-Gwen come back, but we get to be introduced to Spider-Woman, who is Jess Drew, Spider-Man India. We get to be introduced to Spider-Punk, who I think might be like my new favorite
Hoppy,
Spider-Person, just because
really cool. I mean,
he is a black British punk rocker, and there's this part where he finally takes off his mask, and Miles turns around and goes, "How are you also this cool under the mask?"
And I think he's
I just love him so much.
Yeah, like, he is really cool.
Well, see, then also Peter B Parker returns, and guess what? He has a baby now, and her name is Mayday. She's so cute. And another thing is that they reference a lot of the other Spider-Man movies, and they do it so well. Like, I think the multiverse is a great tool to use in stories. We have seen it be used well. The problem is just a lot of people don't know how to do it. But this is one of the few films, like, that actually knows what they're doing. They get it. It's like we understand it. Because also, another thing also I thought was really funny, they referenced Everything Everywhere All at Once. If you look in the background, you see a little a billboard with a bagel on it, because that's a big theme in Everything Everywhere All at Once. They call it something else, but I'm like, oh, that's a cute little nod. So it's like, this movie is so good, and see, the thing is, it does end on a cliffhanger, but it's like a satisfying cliffhanger, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense, but see, like, I was literally, when it was getting close to the end, I was scooted up on, like, my seat. I'm, like, holding my fiance's hand, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I felt like a kid. I was, like, so excited. I was, like, vibrating afterwards. I cannot wait for this sequel. It's gonna be
definitely
amazing.
I'm hyped.
Everybody go see it. I know. And you know what? I don't mind waiting another year if the animators means the animators can rest.
Mm-hmm.
This will be worth the wait, because this was worth the wait.
Yeah,
Whew, that was a
let's hope
lot.
so.
Okay, so next week, thank God we're dealing with something that's a little less serious. We're going to be taking a look at Hanna-Barbera's bizarre jukebox musical
Oh,
called Rock Odyssey.
wasn't this lost media for a while?
Eh,
Oh wow.
yeah, it was. It's on Internet Archive. So yeah, thankfully there's
Yay.
no sex in this one. All
Bye
right, bye
bye.
everybody. Thanks you for joining us.
Hi, everybody. End of show. Rudy here. Just wanting to say thank you for listening and thank you for supporting us. If you would like to support us more, please share the podcast. It would really mean the world to me and Jad. Also, you can write reviews wherever you can, like on Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. And again, just share us with your friends if you think we're funny or we're sharing. Once again, thanks for your support, and we will continue to watch really bad and weird cartoons. Bye.